vaccinated states with 16 million people.
Hey, it's time.
Total. There were
Time
6,600 hospitalized,
your
104
daily
deaths
dose
per capita. The least
COVID
vaccinated
propaganda.
states have 10 times the hospitalizations.
Hope you
and
haven't
7
been tired
times
of
the
it
deaths.
over the past
so, yeah,
2 fucking years.
Vaccines are working. Now, of course, proximity to
Year
one
and a
another,
half,
how much
God,
time
it's been
you're
a year and a
spending
half,
indoors
feels
with
like
people
5.
outside of your bubble,
I hate it
how
so
much foot
fucking
traffic
much.
is occurring.
Holy shit.
All of this stuff absolutely is. These are significant factors. And looking at data like
God,
that,
I hate it
so
so
just
much.
simply looking at that data and making a claim.
Actually,
that
the
vaccines
vaccine.
work
Yeah, nobody's on the other
be silly.
side. People who are
Except
anti-vaccine
you
are literally
absolutely
getting
can
paid
make
to
that
be like that.
claim with
in
respect to
one way or another.
with respect to the data coming out of
Maybe
how
not
many
with
new
cash, but
cases
with
are
fucking
happening,
clout or
how many new
something.
cases of COVID are occurring, especially because of the Delta
Like,
variant in the
they're
United
getting
States of America in different
YouTube
parts of the
hits.
country.
They're getting followers,
Okay?
you
And then
know?
compare the number of
They're
deaths and
getting love in their tiny little
hospitalizations to last
town
year at the same
that's
fucking time
not in a
when there was
city,
less
so they
foot
don't have to worry
traffic.
about carbon emissions.
Because we
or
have
fucking
completely
COVID.
unwound the
And they don't
restrictions
smoke,
and
they
regulations. There's no
chew.
mask mandates in most places anymore.
Like, it cracks
People
me
have
up that this
once
dude
again,
who's fucking
full-blown
addicted to
taken on the
nicotine gum,
battle of like wearing a
addicted to
mask being the
nicotine
worst thing that you
this
could
dude
possibly
who
do.
fucking
Right?
downs nicotine like it's oxygen.
And
Alright?
we have
Look, he's chewing right now.
150,000 new
You can tell
COVID
he's
cases
chewing.
a day.
He's a
It's
literal
crazy.
chewer.
Like, shit's popping off,
But instead
dude.
of fucking leaf,
And yet-
right? Instead of
and yet-
snus, yeah? It's
we
fucking
have half
rubber.
the amount of deaths,
Dude's chewing rubber.
half the amount
nicotine
of
rubber.
hospitalizations.
Does he ever talk about that shit? Barely.
I wonder why.
Like,
Maybe
dude, calm down,
because
man. Calm the fuck down.
the vaccines fucking work. They prevent hospitalizations from occurring. They prevent
Wow,
deaths from
vaccines work.
occurring.
Nobody's on the other side of
And
it, dude.
really well. They do that. They
Everybody
do a really
agrees.
good job at that.
If they don't, then
12 months
then
lives.
die. Then die. Think of the humans. Save the humans, Hassan. Hassan, save the humans. Save the humans, Hassan. Save the
And you should do the
monkeys.
Hawk Southern GOP accent more often. Thanks,
God,
mommy.
Shut the fuck up.
Heard of anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers dying of COVID and asking for prayers? Yeah, we'll look at that. If you search COVID prayers right now on Facebook, the sheer amount of
In
posts
memory.
is crazy. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Did people forget that
Oh,
even
it's
the
gonna
flu
rain
vaccine
tomorrow?
is 35 to 50% effective yearly? Vaccines have never been 100% effective. It doesn't even matter, dude. Now, that's precisely why I said.
Fastest unlock in Hussein.
That's precisely why I said that. Sorry. I forgot what I was saying. I was like pulling up data on the side.
Only one who regains 10 years
But yeah,
after
look at the
shaving.
COVID cases, dude. Let's look at the COVID cases, okay? We got new COVID cases and deaths, right?
15 months of pausing hassle.
In the United States of America, the 7-day average right now of new cases is 12,000. Or wait, no, is this California? Yeah, this is in California.
Oh wait, shit. Oh, it's the kid's birthday today.
7-day average
I don't know
of
what he
new
likes.
cases is 11,000
Candy?
on August
He probably likes
11th, right?
popcorn, right? Yeah, kids love popcorn. It's Tuesday though. I can't wrap it. Oh well, whatever.
Red Timbo baby elite.
On August
You
11th,
think you're
7-day
like a
average was
boiled egg?
8,000. For new cases was
Bamboo
11,000.
eggs.
August 11th,
What should I give
new
him?
cases also
Some
11,000.
chocolate?
Now look at
Probably won't like it.
hospitalizations.
This game's weird like
Wait,
that.
I want to fucking. Why won't it show us like the actual numbers? I want to see the actual numbers of
A
hospitalizations.
sandwich?
Just, I want to see more details, man.
Just
Come on,
kid,
give me more
happy
fucking
birthday.
details.
Here's a sandwich.
August.
Why do they
Oh,
make
shit.
these things so fucking hard to browse, dude?
mean,
I just
if I was
want
a
to
kid, I'd
see.
be alright with popcorn. I'd be like, hey. Dang, that's some dark
is
chili
this?
peppers. Wow.
Cow jam, cow jam, cow jam.
Breakthrough cases are not driving the U.S. COVID-19 surge. Yeah, no shit. Interactive case count. I'm literally on that. I want to see. I want to click on the fucking hospitalization rate, and I want to click on the death rate, and I want to show you that deaths and hospitalizations are down regardless of the same level of fucking COVID cases spreading.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what? Really? 1,
Like,
2, 3, 4.
oh my
5, 6,
God,
7,
dude.
8. I'm already at the max?
The case
For real?
per capita. Louisiana
Damn.
single-handedly just blowing everyone's backs out here. Holy shit. Isn't Google's tool updated for that? Maybe. Let's see. In the United States. Yeah, new cases. 7-day average. In the entirety of the United States, the 7-day average right now is, or new cases is at 155,576. Last year, when we had more restrictions and no Delta at the time, our new case numbers were, where is it? August 11th. Our new case number was at 47,000 with the 7-day average being 53,000. Okay. So we have like almost triple the amount of fucking new cases that are happening. Now let's look at the death numbers. I have to do this every fucking day, dude. Every time we do this, we got to do it again. If you look at August 11th, death numbers, the 7-day average is 1,000. Okay. 1,000 people on average are dying a fucking day on August 11th last year when there's no vaccines. Right now, the 7-day average is 500. So we have triple the number of fucking new COVID cases, especially with a more powerful variant.
You look extra.
And yet we have half the number of fucking deaths. Why don't they show hospitalizations? I want to know hospitalizations. Come on, give me the hospitalizations, man. I wish Google showed hospitalizations as well. No, and worth noting, this is not the NBOS variant. Of course not. You will know when the NBOS variant is happening, okay? When the NBOS variant starts popping off, you will know. Like, Delta variant is like a mini boss, okay? It's like the first fucking mini boss that you see on Dark Souls.
Shut the fuck up.
And then when the fucking Lambda variant or the
really
Sigma variant comes out,
shit? There's no way he likes
all of a
doing
sudden
this.
you're like, what the
He
fuck?
says he
Oh my
likes doing
god.
this. There's no way, no shot. This guy enjoys going on here and fucking health shaming for the
7-day average hospitalized people in the
368th day in a
ICU,
row.
14,000 on August 7th. On August 7th, people hospitalized.
The people like
in the
it,
ICU,
bro.
14,000.
The people
okay,
have
maybe
spoken.
the ICU numbers are the same. What the
What
fuck?
can I say? The people have spoken and they said, please.
13,000
Health
people in the
shame
ICU. 56,000 people
Health
hospitalized.
shame me, Hassan.
Okay, well, same number of
I need to be
hospitalizations for
health-shamed.
triple the amount of new cases.
I've been a bad
Triple the
breather.
amount of fucking cases.
I've been
Same
a
number of
bad breather,
hospitalizations right
Hassan.
now.
I've been a bad breather. Please health shame me.
That's right.
I'm a bad breather.
Austin might not have hot girlfriends, but he's got you covered on the pussy front.
I'm not gonna read all that, dude. That's crazy. And by the way, let me just make a
It's
quick
Monday,
point
it's not
here,
Tuesday.
okay? Triple the amount of fucking cases, okay? Triple the amount of new cases, same number of people hospitalized. And you know what else is consistent here?
Hassle high.
Nearly every single fucking person that's hospitalized is also, both last year and right now, unfucking vaccinated. That's right, motherfucker. That's
MHM.
fucking right. Back then, there was no vaccine, so everyone that was in the hospital was unvaccinated, okay? Now, we have a vaccine, and motherfuckers that are hospitalized are
Why are you
still
so mad?
unvaccinated. Get the fucking vaccine,
If you see this, I will
dipshits.
do nothing.
Fuck me, man. Holy
one, dude.
shit. It's like you
Cool.
know the top of the hour ad break is coming. You know. And you know that there's a way to avoid that ad break.
THX
By subscribing.
You look so young, the Democrats
Either for
will eat you.
$5 or
You're
for
a
free
stupid
with a
kid.
fucking Twitch Prime. And you still refuse to get that ad break vaccine,
Man,
dude.
you don't like this sandwich. Man, are you serious? I gave a whole cucumber to your
refused.
old ass.
And then I tell you, okay, well, at least you could do the mask wearing equivalent, which is like an ad block or a VPN. And I tell you, like, the Moderna Pfizer mRNA vaccines
when you shave
in the
so
form
some
of a
of us
fucking
can get
Twitch
some
Prime
pussy has
are
some.
fucking free. And you're still like, nah, I'm gonna fucking take the ad head on. So I click on the 1-minute ad break and I deliver it to you.
I have ridden a cow.
I'm very happy with that. That was good. Joe Santagato replied to your Insta. Yeah, that dude's fucking funny, dude.
Dude,
I want to do a Joe Santagato, me and Jeff Wittek stream. Actually, I don't want to do that because both of them are better looking than me, but we're also like the same type of dude. And I feel like that would, you know, that would hurt me a lot.
Turkish Keith Olbermann.
So I'm never going to do that, actually. I take it back. I hit up Jeff and I wanted to get a haircut from him for his, like, you know, barbershop. So we'll see what happens. He was like, yeah, let's do it.
Below baby face at Hussein Abbey.
Ego Andy? Yeah, no, they're way better looking than I am.
I have a toy.
Maybe not Joe. Joe's a good looking dude too, but Jeff definitely is.
I got these random things. Damn, I really should have saved a 2-star. That sucks. I thought I bought a big fridge.
Anyway. Cinema being a crybaby like always. Should I take the hint? It's been on screen 4 times. Did you hope he made a Titanic blunder in blowing up Kristen Cinema's vacation?
So Ryan, tell me, what's on your radar?
Oh no, they subbed the other conservative girl for a new conservative girl. What happened? Was it embarrassing when she didn't know that, like, you know, the USSR played a significant role in eliminating the Nazi scourge from this planet? So they were like, this is too bad. This is a big blunder.
I mean, the flower's not that special.
Anyway, Mr. Wobble said in his interview with Code Miko that he watches you. Wait, isn't Jeff involved with the Dobrik sexual assault stuff? Motherfucker, Jeff, no. What the fuck do you mean? If anything, people were like shitting on David Dobrik because he almost fucking killed Jeff. Is Jeff the one from the David Dobrik squad?
Get rid of some right views I had.
Yes, he is. Wait, really? Preliminary research shows that the Moderna vaccine is much better than Pfizer against Delta. Wait. Bearded Tech, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Looks great.
Dude, why do you guys know so much about this shit? Jeff was heavily implicated in the assault Dobrik case. Wait, really?
What should I do next?
The case. The assault Dobrik case. Like the US Supreme
lumber. I've almost got the
Commonwealth,
but I need so much lumber.
v.
Oh my
Dobrik.
God. I don't really care about the watermill. So the big house.
All right. I did not know that. I thought Jeff. I don't know when this happened. I thought Jeff was like a new person on the vlog squad. I don't fucking know vlog squad. I'm 30, guys. I'm fucking 30 years old. Okay, I'm 30. You understand? 30. I don't know any of this stuff. Anyway, let's watch. Speaking of COVID and why this shit's like horrible, okay? Let's get back to the real news, please.
10 months, let's go BTW. You look handsome, Ajahn Hassel.
Real news, as in, you know, COVID and the absolute psychopaths that are fucking spreading misinformation at a faster rate of transmission than like COVID, Delta variant, Ligma variant, Sigma variant, Sigma variant, whatever the fuck you can, whatever you can think of, okay?
This is concerning to me, and that's why I'm saying there's more research needed by the FDA before the FDA approves these vaccines. Because here's the problem, Anna. Once the vaccines are approved by the FDA, we are going to see the mandates for vaccines ramp up far more than they are right now. They're going to be mandated, and I fear they'll become law in some cities and some states. Biden would love to make it the law.
She said right now.
The land. And I think
ironically
that's
said right now.
wrong.
Oh,
Again,
God
not
damn it. I
anti-vax.
fucking ate it.
Yes, you are. You are literally
I
anti-vax.
really ate it.
If you're saying you're fearful that the vaccines are going to become mandated, you are literally anti-vax. Like, what does that mean? Like,
the Senators are smart.
Listen, listen, I know I took a gun out and I shot someone right in the fucking face and I murdered them. But that doesn't mean that I like murder. I'm anti-murder. Okay? I'm the most anti-murder person ever. I just like doing murder, but I'm anti-murder. It's like, no, dude, if you're literally spending all this fucking time urging people to not get the vaccine, literally going all around the country doing a fucking, you know, Marjorie Titan Green tour in all the southern states where COVID is like spreading like fucking wildfire, and telling people like, hey, you know, in southern states, if they come to your house, if a doctor comes to your house to vaccinate you, you know, boom, baby, we got shotguns. Like, if that's what you're doing, you're fucking anti-vaxxer. You're such an anti-vaxxer. I just, like, why can't she get COVID? Okay, that's well, she'd be fine too because she got vaccinated. So that's the other part, but it's just like she's making other people who believe her suffer.
Hassle.
She's literally anti-vaxxer.
In some cities and some states, Biden would love to make it the law of the land. And I think that's completely wrong. Again, I'm not anti-vax. I am completely for people being allowed to make choices, medical choices for themselves and their families. And I don't think the FDA should approve a vaccine that doesn't seem to be that
just found out about anti-vaxxers.
Wait,
night ruin.
This psycho has now moved the goalpost over to I don't think the FDA should approve the vaccine. What fucking qualifications do you have?
Damn,
you fucking
this sucks, guys.
Philistine animal.
I was having such a good day, and then
what qualifications do you
start
have?
thinking about
Yo,
them
I swear to God,
anti-vaxxers
the fucking
again.
entitlement of rich white lady
Get 'em out of my
conservatives,
head,
like,
out of my head,
what
out
are
of
you?
my head.
I pulled out the baby fridge and I'm still mad right now. Okay, you know that this is a moment for me. When I pull out the baby fridge, I'm supposed to be happy. Okay, and even the baby fridge can't save me right now because, like, what a psychotic take. Like, just give me, please, for one fucking day, I want like the ounce, the shred of confidence that like just the most mediocre, rich, wealthy white ladies have on this planet, dude. The sense of entitlement and the confidence just oozing out of every fucking porous or every orifice. I know more than the FDA. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What? Why are you saying that? Because she knows. That's the worst part. Because she knows. I'm gonna be drinking some yerba mate now. She fucking knows that the FDA approval is coming, and she has to fucking keep the grift going. So they're shifting over their rhetoric. This one's berry mint. Let's see how this one goes.
Virgin is cute. Don't listen to Twitter.
I feel the same way, dude. I'm in Canada surrounded by imbeciles that do their own research, and I'm in the minority. It just, like, doesn't make shit up.
Hassle, hassle, hassle.
The FDA just makes it up anyways. Yeah, dude, totally.
All over the country, at least that's what the media tells us every single day. But I've talked to local hospitals here in my district and here in my state. Yes, the waiting rooms get full, but guess what? The waiting rooms are full of all kinds of things, not just COVID, some, you know, car accidents, trauma, other illnesses.
Yeah, that's why adding on an additional layer on top of that is the problem. That's like literally kind of the reason why we should have vaccines. You dumb animal. You dumb baboon. What the fuck? That is literally the reason. That's the point. That's why people urge others to get the vaccine.
So brave.
I want to tell you guys something, okay?
The way he yells at her, so brave.
I want to tell you guys something. 2 months ago, or now almost 3 months ago, there was a AMA survey that came out. Okay?
Has mullets.
The American Medical Association came out with a fucking survey. If you want to own people in the marketplace of ideas, okay, just show them this. 96% of doctors, over 96% of doctors have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Okay?
That's a nice fridge.
Like, literally, that's it. It's over.
Yes.
It's done. You show that and you go, anything after that, you're like, you have to You have to be a fucking gigantic idiot. What about the other 4% Pepega? First of all, there's always going to be fucking quack doctors.
A whole
okay?
new meaning to the South will rise again, Pepela.
Dude said quack. Ducker
But, like,
Z.
96% of doctors are fully vaccinated, man.
Franker face Z. Ducker Z.
And this is back in June, so that number is probably
gonna be
even
another
higher
one.
now.
Alright.
That's the other thing. That's back in June. So that number probably has grown since then. It's probably even higher than that. Dude, why even bother? Like 96% survive. Why risk it? Lol.
Yeah, tasty
Dude,
time.
this is such a fucking... Look at him. Look at him trying to fucking get me stun locked right now. With like the most common fucking... With the most common delusional take.
All the fun.
It's not gonna work, motherfucker. Hosam says 45% of unvaxxed doctors plan to. Yeah, dude. Out of the 4% of doctors that are not vaccinated, literally 45% of them also plan to get vaccinated. What the fuck? What do you think you know better than a doctor? You're literally a fucking real estate developer who like inherited her fucking inherited her business from her fucking father. What the fuck have you ever accomplished other than get people to not trust this vaccine?
In Afghanistan.
XQC, you gotta fucking try to troll me with a different account, especially when I know what your perspective is because I've seen clips of it. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to like come in here with a different account if you want to field a fan hammer like that. Why getting vaccinated for COVID-19 is more popular in the UK than the US? I know why. Because when they have fucking dumbass anti-vaxxers like Andrew Wakefield come out with like studies and shit, they immediately, first they elevate it, obviously, because they're also, their reactionary media is also a bunch of fucking psychopaths who only care about ratings. But then when the medical association looks at the study, realizes that study is fucking bullshit and vaccines don't actually cause autism and the study was completely made up, they disdoctor them, whatever the fucking term is, okay? They take away their doctorate. And then we in the United States of America welcome that fucking psychopath with open arms so we can live in a fucking massive compound in Austin, Texas, continue to do like anti-vax conspiracies regardless of the fact that he was already fucking, you know, no longer a doctor in the UK and loses their fucking medical licenses shit. But then they come to America and have a wonderful career where they can keep making money lying about vaccines to like dumbass hog Americans and fuck models. That guy's a model girlfriend, dude. That shit pisses me off. Listen, we make fun of bruvs here all the time, okay? I personally love making fun of bruvs. It's the funniest thing, okay? Oh, bruv, yeah, you want to get fucking jabbed with a fucking shank, yeah? Yeah, that's right, corona fucking virus, bruv. Guess what, dude? They're smarter than us, okay? That's just how it is. That's just the reality. Just the reality that you have to live with, dude. That the fucking oi bruvs are smarter than us as a fucking collective. Okay? Yeah. I'm Aiden, bruv. I'm getting my fucking vaccine, yeah.
Is the Green Boy coming today?
That's the big difference between the UK and us. We love our hogs. We are selfish. We are entitled. We're fucking dumbasses. And because of this hyper-individualistic, incredibly selfish attitude that Americans have, like, every dumbass's opinion is a very special snowflake, okay? Every dumbass is like, nah, brother, by sheer virtue of me having thought this thought, like, it must be precious. And you have to listen to it. And if you make fun of me, you're a fucking asshole. And I will cry about it for days. And that shit pisses me off, dude. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're a fucking moron. You're a fucking baboon, okay? You barely remember how to breathe manually on a daily basis, okay? You don't have object permanence, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just because all these other fucking dumbasses have voted you into a position of power does not mean anything, okay? You are not a scientist. You are not a doctor. Shut the fuck up.
Cancer and so forth. but they're seeing about 30% of those numbers being COVID cases. So while the news tries to tell us the hospitals are slam packed with COVID, that's just not the case.
Shit,
Everyone needs to get back down to common sense and remember that, you know, we're human. We can't live forever. We are going to catch all kinds of diseases and illnesses and other viruses, and we get hurt sometimes. So I'm all for let's.
But like, we don't have to. We don't have to. That's the difference, dude. Are you a fucking caveman? Are you a Neanderthal? I mean, she might be. She literally looks like a Neanderthal. Are you a troglodyte, dude? Is that what's going on? Like, you know, many people are saying we need to form societal formations around bodies of water. Well, guess what? I don't want to do that, okay? I know that the fancy lads over there have decided that they know how to control this fire thing that they keep talking about and this wheel thing that they keep pushing around so they can, you know, move weights around with ease. But guess what? I'm not about that lifestyle. I'm a goddamn conservative, okay? I will not be forming a habitat together with other like-minded individuals that are going to be doing hunting and gathering. I will live by myself in my goddamn cave. Do my cave paintings with my doo-doo. That's literally the attitude that she has. It's nuts. It's like, you know, some people are going to fucking get COVID. It's like, well, there is a technological achievement, okay? It's the most human thing that we do. We overcome problems. It is at the heart of being a human being. We are like a cancerous cell on this body. We are permanently growing, destroying the planet. But like the one beautiful thing is like we are overcoming nature, okay? With science and technology. So when you say stuff like, I don't know, I think we should just dice roll it with the nature instead of this technology that I don't want to fucking use, you're basically saying the exact same thing that like you're basically saying like, you're a monkey, okay? You want to live like a monkey, you want to fling your doo-doo. And when I make the comparison to seatbelts and when I make the comparison to drunk driving, unfortunately, especially with seatbelts, like the very same types of people, the Marjorie Titan Greens of the world, also were against wearing seatbelts when seatbelts were first mandated. What am I, some pussy ass libtard? You won't get me to fucking wear a seatbelt. I'll tell you what.
Thank you, Arjan.
Okay.
Let's be rational with this. Let's be careful. Let's be cautious. And let's not turn into an authoritarian regime that forces shots in arms of people that don't want it.
You hope now, no matter what you do.
We do need to be one, okay? And we are one. Authoritarian things that the government does is a necessity, okay? The government, by very nature of its existence, is an authoritarian one. The government, literally, by what we know as rules and regulations, I'm going to simplify this as best as possible for you to now understand. The government, by creating laws, okay, is consistently excluding certain actions, certain behaviors, okay, and creating mandates so that people have a base level of material equality and protection and amenities. This is a weird concept for Americans because our government doesn't do all that, but like in normal governments, that's what they do. They provide public housing, they provide socialized medicine, they provide public education all the way to college. You know, these are normal things the government's supposed to do. Other than that, it's like the government is not a fucking lobbying hub that like steals money from you so they can give it to, so they can subsidize the oil industry or the military industrial complex like we do here. That's what our government does in America. But in most countries, that's what the government is supposed to do, right? It's supposed to give you amenities, and it's supposed to tell you, no, you can't do certain things, okay? I know you want to. But the concept of laws, the concept of rules and regulations, by its very nature, are exclusionary towards people that want to fucking, you know, not abide by those laws. Okay? And I don't think she's a crusty anarchist who's like, yeah, fuck all, abolish all hierarchies, like all laws are fucking illegal, brother, whatever. I don't think she's one of those crusty ass, like, crust punk anarchists. So
Yeah, it
it's
came
kind of
through.
weird that she's talking about this like and taking this tone where like this is so authoritarian. Yes, of course it's fucking authoritarian. That's what the fucking government does, dude. We have a government because unfortunately there are too many fucking dumbasses like you that will never do the right thing on their own, and as a matter of fact, you will try to do the wrong thing on purpose. What is he saying? XQ Cow needs to understand why COVID cases are going up. Yeah, don't try me. I'm gonna make multiple accounts and coordinate them. Do it. Do it, bitch. I like how she doesn't want the government to tell her what to do with her body, but will turn around and say pro-life and take someone else's autonomy away. Of course.
My wife's boyfriend is named Big J, aka Papa J, aka Big Pappy.
Do you guys understand what I mean? Like, yes, vaccine mandates already exist for a fuckload of other vaccines, okay? And it exists for good reason. That's why we don't have smallpox and measles and mumps and polio, okay?
12 months listening to
my
my
clock
favorite
on my-
conservative
We've
radio
eradicated
program.
so many different
but it
fucking
didn't.
diseases so that dumbasses like Marjorie Taylor Greene can
Oh,
survive.
wow.
That's literally the nature of mankind, okay? That's why we've been able to
Shaved for
grow
5 months,
taller.
let's
That's why
go.
we've been able to fucking live for much, much longer, okay? That's how this works. Because we develop societal formations and we set rules and regulations so that psychos can't just like go around and do pedophilia or murder.
Brandon.
Oh. How do you deal with the hog car argument? What's the hog car argument?
Okay.
I had a very long high combo with my libertarian boyfriend last night. He was telling me in his own words that we should have free college, better social safety nets, and better wealth better distribution so that those that aren't born to the wealthy can succeed too. I almost cried at how much of a libby he's become. Previously an anti-vaxxer, by the way. Much thanks to you for teaching me how to navigate our combos. Good shit. This willfully closed off attitude of these people is preventing them from having a realistic view of the rest of the world and seeing how vaccines actually work, and it's
Can't
endlessly
unsee the
frustrating.
Titan.
Yeah, I got some yams. Those yams come up quick.
I'm not speaking for the anti-vax crowd, but I know more
Thank
sane
God I
people
got
are
some
just
money.
weary of mandating newly implemented mRNA technology than vaccines in general. No, dude. No, because those sane people are, unfortunately, high off their own fucking farts and greatly
Thoughts on the
greatly
I have
overestimate
their
their
own
own
Plus troops back
skills,
into
their
Afghanistan.
their
Love you
critical
and
thinking skills, their
ChatBTW.
own level of perception, and their own knowledge and education on a fucking subject matter that they simply cannot comprehend. Those people don't know that the mRNA vaccine platform and the mRNA vaccine
that's where the
technology has been
goalposts
in
move
development
to.
since
They shouldn't have.
1984. Okay, they don't. They think it like happened last year, so it doesn't matter. Even people that you regard as like normal or sane or intelligent are still fucking dumbasses that can be fearful, especially when it comes to so much misinformation being spread nonstop that takes advantage of the very human side of
tried to
people's
drink
brains.
Thank you, Hassan, for 5 months of
More
babysitting.
Van juice?
Okay? Anyway. Wait, XQ Cow is anti-vax? No, he's not, dude. No. He's just trying to fucking... He's just trying to trigger me and get me to be stun locked.
Conspiracy theorists spreading COVID misinformation faster than the Delta variant, Ligma
I didn't
variant,
know.
Shugma variant.
I got my first dose of the vaccine yesterday because of you. I realized how the vaccine works, and watching your stream helped me recognize what a disservice I was doing to my fellow humans. My arm hurts, but I'm feeling great. Thanks. Good shit. What is stopping the truth from getting through to the hogs this time around? Dude, everything under the sun
Nice chin.
in the United States of America is now seen through the lens of the culture war, okay? There is no more like objective, unbiased truths within science. That's it. I hate that it's like
Damn, 1,000 gold.
so cheesy. It's such a cheesy ass fucking description, but it's the truth. Like these sorry, these people absolutely just can only comprehend, can only analyze the world from like easy to understand contextualizations. Those contextualizations are unfortunately Democrats versus Republicans. Like what is owning the libs and what's not. And what I mean by that is this. Okay. You know how a lot of you have Twitch brain rot? It's kind of like that. Like when something minor happens on Twitch as it pertains to like the little political ecosystem that we have here, and everyone will be like, oh my God, dude, you have to cover this. Like some random Twitch streamer account that's like a political streamer with like 35 followers said this about you. And it's like, no, like I'm not going to have this conversation. Like I'm not going to watch this. It's like completely irrelevant, right? But in your world, it's like, that's the only way you can, that's the framework that you're most comfortable doing political analysis. That's why a lot of these like influencer battles amongst like Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kalinske, Jank, like all of this shit pops off on YouTube now, because that's the easiest way that people can like demonstrate their political attitudes and their political teams, because there's no other framework to do it through. There's no like solidarity amongst the working class. There's no labor unions. There's no way to actually engage in political action. So you stick to what you know. So you stick to what is easiest for you, okay? You stick to what helps you analyze this information, like these other familiar voices, these other familiar attitudes that keep massaging your pre-existing biases, okay? And I'm sure you guys do this too.
Hold on.
But it is what it is. This is how it works. And that's the same as like conservatives deciding like, you know, vaccines are deadly. There's a very real fear that obviously a lot of conservatives have towards like technological achievements and whatnot. I mean, they're fucking reactionary and conservative to begin with, right?
I love you, Had, and thanks for streaming, and here's to more
right?
years to come.
But then also on top of that, there is a constant fucking sea of misinformation being pumped at them and telling them from sources that they trust that like they are you know, they are right to be fearful.
Died by suicide in 2020. We have a mental health issue, not a COVID issue.
What did this person say?
Fucking chuds.
If they inject her, she will turn into the founding titan and she screeches. Open your third. I didn't see the dono. I missed it. XQC needs your help. He's spreading nonsense. I mean, I told him I'd be down to talk to him about vaccinations. Like, I fucking DM'd him just now. So.
Asshole.
Hey folks, how you doing? I just got a quick question about this whole COVID, not getting vaccinated and running to the fucking hospital once you get the virus fucking deal, because this shit is out of fucking control, all right? And I'm gonna give you a quick story on why I think it's out of fucking control. Last week I had to bring my wife into the hospital. She has stage 4 breast cancer. She was dealing with some symptoms, and I had to bring her in to get some fluid drained. She was having some pain. She was in there for 2 days. On the third day, she honestly should have stayed one more day. Maybe 2 more days, okay? But on the third day, instead of draining her fluid and what they wanted to do, they had to they told us that she had to be discharged because they had no room left in the hospital because of COVID. Here's my question.
I just got here. Where is
Why 99% of everybody that's in the hospital with COVID right now is unvaccinated, okay? If you really fucking believe that COVID's not real, and you really believe that's not a big deal, and you really believe that you don't need to get the vaccine, that is your fucking right, okay? I'm not gonna argue with you about that. What I am gonna argue with about is you running to the fucking hospital once you get the virus. If you don't trust the medical field to prevent you from getting it, why do you trust them to cure you from it? Why do you run to the fucking hospital?
I need more grass.
If you really believe that COVID's not a big deal and it's not this, that, the other, and you don't get the vaccine because of, stick to your fucking guns and keep your motherfucking ass at home. Stop running to the...
Exactly. That's precisely my point. I've been saying this for so fucking long. It's like, oh, doctors are fucking lying to you about COVID case rates, brother. But then all of a sudden, when push comes to shove, when you got fucking COVID, all of a sudden you're like, please, doctor, save my fucking hog ass. Why? Just die on your own, bitch. Literally, just die on your fucking own, okay? You don't get to murder, like, vaccinated cancer patients and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that desperately need treatment, and you're just taking up beds in the hospital. I'm telling you, it's like, it's literally, it is insane. Like,
on Jewish space lasers.
I'm fucking telling you, I've been saying this for the longest time. Treat it like a DNR, okay? Treat it like a fucking DNR. Go outside. If you refuse to get the vaccine and you get COVID, just fucking go outside and die on your own. You don't get to literally take up hospital beds from people who are already vaccinated, that have taken the necessary precautions and need those ICU beds for other reasons. Okay? You have every opportunity. Treat it like a DNR. Treat it like a fucking DNR, dude. Do not resuscitate. Do not ventilate. Do not fucking, put him in ICU beds.
Look at this baby.
So if I
You wanted fucking, natural
lower the price?
selection to occur? Well, guess what? It's occurring.
The hospital, putting everybody else at fucking risk, and in turn, the collateral damages. People like my wife who actually need medical fucking help for a chronic fucking disease get kicked out of the hospital because your dumbass is too stupid to go get a fucking vaccine shot. Keep your ass at home. If you really believe COVID's not a big deal, prove it. Stick to your fucking guns. Keep your ass at home and fucking deal with it.
Damn it.
DNR is do not resuscitate. It's a personal choice that people make, that if they're like ever in a coma or something, they don't want to, they don't want to, I don't know. They just don't want to be fucking resuscitated. If they die, they die. Like, that's okay.
Chat spam jammies.
And I'm saying that, like, if you're not going to fucking take the vaccine and you have this inherent mistrust in the medical profession, in the medical community, fucking die then. Like,
It didn't count as a gift.
Neanderthal lady.
my dad is an anti-vaxxer who thinks he's going to put microbots inside you and is the mark of the beast as said in the Bible. He's so insane. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yes, it has been politicized, but I think people are underestimating how big of an impact not having socialized medicine is having. People can't afford to go to the doctor regular, if even at all. Therefore, they don't know or trust them, leading to an explosion of skeptics. Yes, I know. I know.
If they inject her, she will turn into the founding titan, and when she screeches, she'll turn all of the vaccinated into titans, which will consume humanity. Stay woke. Decalcify your pineal gland. Open your
Chud Twitter top. Chud Twitter compilation of top Democrats being anti-vaccine. Democrats? What do you mean? When like Donald Trump was the president or something, and people were. Here is nearly 3 minutes of Democrats irresponsibly casting doubt about vaccines last year.
USA losing to COVID just like they lost to
and they should be.
Wait. Okay. Okay, hey guys, RNC research, by the way. Wait, I gotta pee real quick. I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna let this ride. what does this what does this mean,
Ren,
dude?
my baby daddy.
Like, yeah, guess what, dude? Before I even knew the invention of the mRNA vaccine, I could have said some dumb shit about the mRNA vaccine, okay? I did not have the knowledge. I did not know anything about it. Who fucking cares? What matters is what's going on right now. Vaccines came out, and they are fucking effective, incredibly effective. They're safe to take. So, as what normal people do, when they get hit in the face with new information, they decide, okay, I was wrong on my previous skepticism. It's called new evidence, okay? It is an incredibly idiotic fucking take to just like, to blast this and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
I think it's going to be a very skeptical American public about taking the vaccine, and they should be.
We can't trust the president and take his word
I gotta pee,
and take a vaccine that might cause harm to us.
If and when the vaccine comes, and it's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that are needed to be done.
Let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us.
When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot? Who's going to take the shot?
We will need to have access to the vaccine results so we can make our independent assessment to make sure that Donald Trump's fingerprints are not on it.
You can be the first one to say, put me, sign me up. They now say it's okay.
Is the vaccine safe? Frankly, I'm not going to trust the federal government's opinion. And I wouldn't recommend to New Yorkers based on the federal government's opinion.
And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency.
Would you trust that vaccine?
There's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
We cannot take for granted this process will be free of political influence.
I don't trust the president, and I don't trust the FDA.
If Donald Trump can't give answers and the administration can't give answers to these three questions, the American people should not have confidence.
You're going to say to the American people now, here's a vaccine, it was new, it was done quickly, but trust this federal administration and their health administration that it's safe?
I will say that...
11 months,
bro, what did I tell you last year? Whenever you guys, there were plenty of skeptical people that asked me all the fucking time, like, hey, what do you think about this vaccine? Like, what if the vaccine is not safe? It's Donald Trump's vaccine, blah, blah, blah. I would tell you all the time, I do not care. As long as the scientists that have built this fucking technology test it and find it to be safe, I will take this vaccine. That is the appropriate thing to say. There was an understandable amount of skepticism because of how fearful people were of Donald Trump, but it's not like Donald Trump fucking built the vaccine. So yeah, these people are fucking dumb for saying this. Okay? They were dumb for saying this.
Come.
Who cares?
That I would not trust Donald Trump.
How confident are you in the approval process of the FDA right now?
How confident am I? I'm not that confident.
Yes, I would be hesitant, but I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
You're going to need...
I'm willing to bet that like half of these fucking clips, by the way, if you were to play it by like 10 more seconds, would probably say something along the lines of, but as long as the scientists declare it to be safe, like, of course I'm going to take it. It's our only way out of this fucking pandemic. Because like, that's literally what people's positions were back then. People were like, yeah, I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little worried. This is like, you know, this is a really rushed process with respect to like previous vaccines. Like we've never actually, you know, we've never actually had vaccines get developed this quickly. But as far as like what the medical community dictates and declares is safe, I'm totally going to take it. And guess what? All of these people took the fucking vaccine. So what else do you want?
So
like, is the GOP claiming that like liberals are not getting the vaccine right now? Is that what they're saying? saying? Is the GOP stating that, like, there's a big problem with, like, you know, New York Democrats not getting the vaccine because they love Andrew Cuomo and they only remember him being skeptical from a year ago and are and don't know that he already took the vaccine and urged to get the vaccine? Is that what it is? Are they or are they making an even dumber argument and saying that, like, all the conservatives that aren't getting the vaccine aren't getting it because Cuomo was skeptical about it a year ago and is no longer skeptical about it? Like, what's the argument here? Pretty chill bite. Started watching you on TYT, was super stoked. I found you on Twitch. Keep up the great work. My family are evangelical conservatives. Mexican anti-vaxxers is the only place I feel sane. I'm sorry to hear that. My neighbor is a nurse at a hospital in SoCal and refuses to get the vaccine since they believe that Antifa tracks it. Yes, dude, you can be a nurse and a fucking psycho, okay? I love nurses. I'm a fan of big nurses, okay? The big nurse, Dark Money, big time fan. You know this. But some nurses are fucking idiots, dude, okay? There are doctors that are idiots.
Sorry I couldn't use Prime Sub this month because I'm at vacation and it won't let me through mobile. Happy birthday, Dad. Also, you look very cute today, King. Thank you for educating and having us laugh together while learning why people happy.
This is so dumb.
Someone other than this FDA and this CDC saying it's safe.
You've got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation so they can look and see. So there's a consensus. This is a safe vaccine.
Wait, that's not even a clip chimp. That's literally correct. That's not even a fucking... They just put that, like... Look, I love dunking on Joe Biden, but if you can't find this, like, old dish rag of a fucking human fumbling his words and, like, actually promoting vaccine hesitancy, then you're not doing a good enough job, okay? I mean, seriously. How do you fail to get this guy, you know, this old fart who fucks up what he's trying to say all the time? How did you not be, how were you unable to find a single time where he was like, don't get the vaccine, Jack?
A safe vaccine.
What I'm worried about is that there's some sort of October surprise and that there is a pressure put on the decision makers here to announce the vaccine in October of 2020.
We're going to put together our own group of doctors and medical experts to review the vaccine and the efficacy and the protocol. And if they say it's safe, then I'll go to the people of New York and I will say it's safe.
Okay, again, this is my favorite part of the argument. Whenever, like, people who are clip chimping turn around and actually fuck up the clip chimp by adding additional context, it's like, you didn't need to put the additional context, idiot. Now it doesn't even look bad, but I guess it doesn't matter because, again, remember what I said about political tribalism and how people only have the framework of, like, you know, Democrat or conservative when analyzing shit? Remember what I said about that? That's precisely why it's like, oh, well, it's Andrew Cuomo saying this. And Andrew Cuomo is bad. So, of course, now I believe that, you know, no matter what he's saying, he was probably doing vaccine hesitancy. Even though I myself am fucking also hesitant to the vaccine and don't want to take it. But, you know, it's bad when he does it.
But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Heard it here, folks, first. First, folks. Heard it, folks, first. Man, only 3K? Jeez.
I think
Is the argument that they're somehow making Democrats vaccine hesitant? I didn't miss a word. What? What word did I miss? I don't get it.
Hi Hank, where did you hide?
They just completely checked out.
Hell yeah.
After
what? Close Thursdays. Guess I'll buy that oven then.
Came back for a second month.
Ryan Grimm at a base take.
To be indoctrinated by you.
Their argument is that they're hypocrites when they're not in power.
Marika Omegalal. Vaxxed and ready to sax.
What's the point of questioning them? Kamala is fucking divisive, cop politician through and through. She sucks ass nearly as much as Trump. Who cares what she says? I'm gonna trust scientists and doctors, not a former attorney general bought and paid for. Like, I just like it's fucking hurting my mind to see these fucking arguments. It's like
8 months subbed and happy to see all the mauling on chat.
Dang, Karen loves popcorn. I knew she loved corn.
Scalia's misleading clip
dang,
job
she loves
claiming
popcorn.
vaccine misinformation by Democrats. Democrats have a history of vaccine misinformation and not trusting science. What? This is the... I feel like this is the same energy as like, actually Democrats are the real racists. They're the party of the KKK. When like their fan base is literally saying like, no, we like the KKK, brother. What the fuck? Not the demon rats. You know what I mean? It's like they love the vaccine misinformation. Are you trying to get Republicans to vote for the Democrats? Like, is that what's going on?
Keep the doctor away.
Keep up the great work. My family are evangelical conservatives, Mexican anti-vaxxers, and this is the only place I feel sane.
Do people believe? I mean, it's just like, do people believe that Democrats would not have taken this vaccine? Maybe some wouldn't. I'd be fucking screaming at them. Like I'd be screaming, like I'm screaming at the fucking hogs right now. If Donald Trump was president, Democrats were like, I'm not taking the vaccine. I'd be like, you're a fucking psycho. Okay? You're a fucking psycho. Trump didn't make the vaccine. Okay? Scientists did. You are every bit the same kind of fucking delusional psycho that hogs are when they think Trump made the vaccine, or when they think like Trump solved Middle East peace or whatever the fuck. Okay? Trump had nothing to do with the vaccine. Shut the fuck up. Oh. Anyway.
Aqua's hard to please.
California dad killed his kids over QAnon and serpent DNA conspiracy theories, feds claim. Authorities say Matthew Taylor Coleman confessed to murdering his 2 young children in Mexico and told investigators he thought they would grow into monsters. What? A California surfing school owner who was charged with killing his 2 children in Mexico is a follower of QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories who thought the children were going to grow into monsters. We had to kill them. Matthew Taylor Coleman, 40, was charged Wednesday with foreign murder of U.S. nationals in connection with the death of his 2-year-old son and his 10-month-old daughter. Authorities said Coleman confessed to the killings and told the FBI that he used a spearfishing gun to stab them. A criminal complaint alleges that he told the FBI that he killed his children because he believed they were going to grow into monsters, and the conspiracy theories led him to believe that his wife had passed down her serpent DNA to the children.
Both of these.
Isn't this literally what the chatter was telling me about? Oh my god, this is literally going to be a JCS video. I can't believe I'm thinking about this. Jesus Christ. My brain is officially rotted. It's just so rotten, dude. The chatter yesterday was like, hey, this happened in my hometown. Like, there's gonna be a fucking JCS video coming about this in a year. Like, get excited. Yeah, Zach Fox's like greatest take of all time, by the way. Once again proven. This is how the photos be looking at headlines when a white man kills his entire family. Literally, look at this. California dad kills his kids over QAnon and serpent DNA conspiracy theory, feds claim. Already know other cultists are going to be defending this shit? No.
Has flex, has flex, has flex.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. I mean, they literally did that. California dad charged with murder and spear gun death of his 2 young brothers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait, do they mention QAnon?
I'm looking for a real bed partner.
Oh my god, they don't mention QAnon in this.
Got some random phone numbers looking for a real bed partner. Should I hit
They
him
mentioned QAnon
Should I be
once.
like, yo, what's up, girl? How you living?
He allegedly claimed to be receiving visions of his wife possessed certain DNA and
real
passed on
bed.
to his children. Also, oh my god, they literally mention it.
Are you a real
They
partner?
mention QAnon. They bury it.
They bury it. What do they do with it?
Also mentioned QAnon and Illuminati
Bury.
conspiracy theories. You know, the type of shit that we pump out on a daily basis here.
They bury it.
California dad murdered his toddler infant over fears they had serpent DNA. Dude, it's like, it's a joke, but it's also real. Like, I mean, look, seriously. Look at this. Look at this.
Cool.
Yeah, save the kids, by the way. Save the children, by the way. Remember, the Republicans love saving the kids, right? Fucking no, they don't. Okay, they want to murder the kids. Jesus Christ. Anyway. I don't care about this that much. Made me smile.
It's a big.
All right, let's talk about the FDA, Dr. Fauci. We're done with the fucking anti-vaxxers. I want to see this critical race theory emotional speech first.
Hot at another school board meeting in Loudoun County last night. Parents calling out the school's social justice agenda as one teacher declares she has had enough.
I'm joking, keeps
Within the last year, I was told in one of my so-called equity trainings that white, Christian, able-bodied females currently have the power in our schools, and that, quote, this has to change. You shut the doors to the public, as well as the emails sent by the superintendent last year reminding me that a dissenting opinion is not allowed even to be spoken in my personal life, going so far as to send a form to my colleagues and I encouraging us to fill it out. I quit your policies, I quit your trainings, and I quit being a cog in a machine.
I'm sick and tired of telling children that
1 year working from home.
slavery was immoral.
To work on spreadsheets.
You can't make me. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
Fan from Canada.
That tells me to push highly politicized agendas on our most vulnerable constituents, the children.
Author Douglas Murray joins us now to react. Good morning to you.
Fox News owner Galal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up with the fucking Murrays, dude? Charles Murray, Douglas Murray. Get the fucking Murrays out of here.
So, Douglas, you can tell
Get
she's
the fucking
obviously
Murrays
emotional.
outta
She probably
here.
doesn't want to leave these kids in that school district without
Nobody
having
likes you Murray people. Get out of here, you Murrays.
her
Oh,
teachings,
man, I'm not gonna be able
but
to...
she's forced to. It's forcing good
Hey, I don't know
teachers
that
to
one.
leave. What's your reaction?
This woman, Laura Morris, who's the teacher we just heard from, who resigned, really should be applauded, I think. It's clear from the tape how distressed she is about having to take this decision, but she felt she had to for reasons of conscience. As she says there, you know, it's a privilege to be a teacher. It's a privilege to help the next generation of young Americans grow up, to think, to be informed, and to be able to go out into the world. And it's clear, as she says to the Loudoun County Board, that's not a priority, actually, to the local school authorities. In fact, in their priority system, it's things like equity class.
Dude, this is the... I can't believe I'm saying this. This is absolutely the worst, the fucking worst noise gate I have ever seen. You motherfuckers need to understand that every goddamn day that I deliver delicious, juicy content to you, okay, you should be fucking excited. You should be excited that there's never a single fucking peep in that noise gate. And maybe every now and then you hear the fucking AC. You ungrateful sons of guns. Okay? You should also be excited that I let you know that the top of the hour ad break is coming. And that I give you options on how to avoid those fucking ad breaks. And yet you don't. And then you go over and you watch another streamer when I'm not live or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, these other streamers, they're running like 8 ads in a row. And not the 60-second ad break at the top of the hour. That's right. It's coming. Damn. Okay, I fucked it up. I fucked the delivery up a little bit, but it doesn't matter.
I found a boot.
Top of the hour every hour.
I fished a boot.
Time for a 60-second ad break. And you know how to avoid those ads. You can subscribe for $5. You can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? That's right. You can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. You can use an ad block. You can use a VPN.
Where is my stream?
But Twitch Prime is free. Here's the ad break now.
Gonna put a big old yam in that sucker.
She refers there to the equity class that says that there is a privilege.
The equity class. It's like, dude, what are you... Dude, why? Dude, Republicans adopting, like, leftist rhetoric is so fucking triggering for me. It's like, dude, you're on Fox News. What do you mean equity class? Your entire position in mainstream media across the board, to begin with, no matter what part of the fucking political spectrum you fall on, is to literally prop up the capitalist bourgeois class and make it seem like the subjugation that the proletariat experiences on a daily basis is actually good, moral, just, and that there are no other alternatives. Okay? Tommy P213, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. Like, don't fucking use words like equity clause. Fucking dipshit. Insane. I know Loudoun County is one of the wealthiest counties, or is the wealthiest county in the entire United States. Yeah, it's like, we've talked about them before. They're fucking all... They're all like rich neolibs that live there.
In being a white, female, able-bodied Christian teacher, and that this has to change. And the thing is, we all have to ask, as she did...
If the admin was really telling her that white Christian able-bodied women hold all the power, though, that's quite a bit effed up, isn't it? That isn't even a fact, let alone CRT. I don't believe that. Like, that's fucking idiotic, dude. Why do you believe that? Are you fucking stupid? Or are you actually dumb? I will never believe a fucking Karen like this, okay? Sorry. Just like straight up. Anyone that comes on in the news and is like trying to build and carve a fucking brand for themselves by specifically appealing to the most reactionary points of view like this, I will never believe you. You are just doing a personal branding shtick here. I don't believe your personal experience. I don't believe your lived experience. I think you're fucking crying fake tears. It might be real tears because you're profoundly privileged. No shot, dude. No fucking shot.
Why? What's wrong with being a white, Christian, able-bodied female teacher? What's wrong with it? If you're a good teacher, we should celebrate that. But that's not what's been happening. And so for reasons of conscience, she's decided...
Apparently, she fucking quit because she could not misgender students anymore, by the way. Laura Morris sobbed that she told the school board that she can't respect transgender students because she's a believer in Christ. I'm literally shitting, pissing, and farting right now at the thought of having to fucking not misgender trans students. How dare you? How dare you make me do this? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Okay? There it is. All of you dummies. Like, you see one fucking mediocre white woman crying and you're like, ah, she's attractive, I believe her. Like, you're so fucking stupid, dude. Literally, your lizard brain is like, there's synapses that fire off in your brain where you're like, oh, I'm inclined to believe her. I'm going to defend her. Actually. Like, one of you motherfuckers literally said, wow, it's so incredible that, like, isn't it crazy that the school said this? It's not a part of CRT. It's like, no, I don't believe that. Like, that's
you know
not
what's
true.
big if you need ladders.
Anyway. Very OP.
You have eyes, Clint.
Despite her pleas about children, Morris was speaking against the policy adopted by the Loudoun County School Board last night to make school more welcoming to trans students who have a high school dropout rate in part due to discrimination and bullying they face in schools. The district's new policy for the new year is happening because the state passed law requiring the Virginia Department of Education to develop model language or policies on trans students, which school districts have to adopt in order to keep their state funds. The policies address record keeping, names and pronouns, use of gender segregated facilities, and other topics that affect how trans students are treated at school.
Thank you for arguing with morons on the importance of
Morris called all this political ideologies that do not square with who I am. Okay, well then get fucked. You are no longer here. You don't have to be a fucking teacher there anymore, you fucking idiot. Same energy as, like, you know, same energy as, like, teachers in the 60s being like, I don't want to teach black students. Like, I think segregation is good and integration is bad, and I don't want to fucking have, you know, black students being educated alongside white students and crying about it. It's literally the exact same shit. 1000%. Hey, get fucked. You don't get to fucking teach students. How about that? Keep mauling at these dumbasses. I'm sure you'll convince them eventually. I don't care about convincing them. I don't. I will never convince that person. That person has already made up their mind, okay? One, that person is already delusional, misguided, scared, confused, whatever, okay? If I could have a one-to-one conversation, maybe I'd be able to one-to-one conversation, maybe I could actually, you know, have a productive convo with them. But as far as, like, people that are personally motivated by, like, trying to build a brand for themselves and shit like that, like, there is no, I'm not gonna motivate Charlie Kirk to be a good person. He makes his money being a fucking asshole. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna motivate Ben Shapiro. I'm not gonna be able to change Ben Shapiro's mind by having a conversation with him. He's making his money being a fucking douchebag. He's making his money spewing that garbage. Same with Candace Owens.
Please put your beard back on.
Okay? It doesn't matter anyway. Literally every other word this guy, you paint your nails, you talk about privilege from a millionaire mansion in gated community, LMFAO. Yeah, dude, I totally live in a millionaire mansion in a gated community. What else do you have made up about me? Painting your nails is privilege? I know, dude. Every single person that paints their nails, profoundly privileged. I am fucking privileged, idiot. I talk about my privileges all the goddamn time. As a matter of fact, I try to use my privilege for good.
For good. For good.
Thank you for the
I wonder how you would behave in front of 30,000 people if you were able to ever be fortunate enough to have such a wonderful community like this one. with this many people and keep them entertained for fucking, 8 hours a day without using sentence modifiers like literally. I want to see what this fucking account looks like. Hold on. Gotta be more idiots. Southern Cali, LA are brainwashed on what the real world is. Anyone who actually gets out of the house and has actual conversations, interactions with other humans knows that the media creates a false image, idea, mindset that is so toxic, dividing. Yeah, I'm sure. Not the... Scroll up and read my comment, please, sir. Anyone who actually wakes up every day and works, accomplishes goals, truly knows this. I hope you all know that you are brainwashed, closed-minded, to truly wake up and realize what's going on. Yeah, dude. Anyone... Yeah, dude. The working class, the real people who work are very normal. They don't fucking obsess over CRT and shit. Most of the people that do that are constant, relentless media watchers that are actually relatively privileged. He is correct on that. You think like some fucking dude who's working at the construction is like, oh man, I really hate that CRT is being taught to our children. And if they are actually feeling that way, okay, if they are unironically feeling that way, then they've been misguided and divided by a divisive media. But I'm pretty sure that because of your fucking biases, you don't assume that that is biased media. You think that that's the real truth. It sucks people with your platform and influence so blind, brainwashed, closed-minded about how the real world outside of privileged state of California continues to spread support the closed-minded party side of things mindset. It's truly why the division in our country will only grow because of closed-mindedness. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep this one as a pet. Okay? Because this dumbass has only been in here for since June 10th and clearly has not been in here for that long. Long enough to at least see me literally shit on Democrats regularly. Okay? Also, he doesn't know that, like, I guess most of my... I'm the #1 Twitch streamer in, like, fucking every red state, apparently. 3/3/2020 though. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that like they were in here, they got mad, they left, they came back. We can change this we can change this person's mind. Because I'm not that close-minded. Sonny? This is all a personal branding project. His mom is catching on at the Daily Wire. Stay-at-home moms sued by nation's largest teachers union after investigating CRT. Yeah, they all are, dude. Everyone is trying to be a fucking influencer. It's like the only economy that is growing and where you can like seemingly make money and have a fucking decent lifestyle. Okay?
Happy 11 months, you beard.
What those people don't realize is that like that clout goes away. Okay, if you're not consistently pumping out decent content, people are gonna leave. They're not gonna keep watching you. It's very hard to keep people's attention on you. So you're gonna do that little personal branding. You're gonna be, you're gonna be famous in your little community. At the book reading club or whatever the fuck you guys do. Every week when you get together, all the other conservative moms are gonna be like, "Oh my God,
Moon dumplings.
Remember she was on the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro." You're gonna experience a minor fucking millisecond of fame in your own like micro community that you live in. And back to nothingness. Back to the fucking same banality of your existence every goddamn day in your ugly ass McMansion where you fantasize about fucking the pool boy every day because your husband has had erectile dysfunction for the past 15 years. Okay? That's it. Have fun. Have fun, dude. You were on the Daily Wire. Great.
I'd buy some carrots.
To resign, and I think people should applaud that.
The superintendent, she says also, in addition to the white Christian thing, she said the superintendent sent out an email saying you're not allowed to have a dissenting opinion. There's a picture of the superintendent.
I agree with you on some things. I just think you contradict yourself at times. No, I don't.
superintendent. And if you do disagree with our district and you even talk about it in your private life, other teachers should snitch on you. And he sent out a form to all the teachers. What about free speech? Why can't you disagree with what they're trying to tell you to teach?
Wait a minute.
Like, this argument is so dumb. It's been brutalized many times over at this point. First of all, like, these are the same people who are like, we need to burn all books that say trans people exist. Okay, kids should not learn about the existence of like trans people and gay people. So like, you're not a fan of free speech to begin with. And also, there is no such thing as like absolute free speech. Okay, there isn't. You can't, especially at a school. A teacher can't fucking get up and be like, I'm gonna fuck your mom to a student, no matter how hard they want to say that, or even fuck their mom, actually. Okay, so where is the fucking free speech? Also, half of the Republican states, in 35 specifically, including Texas, public school teachers literally have to sign a form that says like they will never recognize the state of Palestine to even be able to teach. So what free speech are we talking about? That's an actual attack on free speech. And a ridiculous one. So analyze the actual instances on a case-by-case basis and tell me why this is good or bad, rather than like trying to appeal to some like idealized notion of free speech that literally does not exist, that you have never defended in your entire life. Okay?
Yeah,
I need a source on that one. Here you go. Come on, dude. Today, 35 states have adopted laws, executive orders, or resolutions that are designed to discourage boycotts against Israel. Separately, the U.S. Congress is considering an anti-boycott legislation as well in reaction to the BDS movement. The Senate passed S1, which contains an anti-boycott provisions as of January 28, 2019. The House passed a resolution condemning the boycott of Israel on July 24, 2019 by a vote of 398 to 17. States are listed below the date that have adopted anti-BDS measures. In the state of Tennessee, the General Assembly formally condemned BDS movement, which is boycott, divestment, and sanctions, a movement that was created against apartheid South Africa at the time. Same movement against Israel, which was also an apartheid state. But the state of Tennessee decided that Tennessee public institutions to divest from entities involved in the BDS movement. It refers to BDS as one of the main vehicles for spreading anti-Semitism and advocating the elimination of the Jewish state. The legislation also stated that BDS is deeply damaging to the causes of peace, justice, equality, and democracy and human rights for all people in the Middle East. Okay, this is like a bullshit anti-BDS law, though. Here, I'll show you Texas. That one is like fucked up. Some of these are like light. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed HB 89, an act relating to the state of Israel. And by the way, remember, this is pro, like, this does not like BDS, this website, jewishvirtuallibrary.org. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed HB 89, an act relating to the state contracts and investments in companies that boycott Israel.
How do I get the adamantite? I assume the lake.
On May 2nd, 2017. The bill prohibits the state of Texas from contracting or entering into business with companies or entities involved in the BDS movement against Israel. Why? The law ensures that public funds will not go to these companies that participate in BDS. They started to divest $72 million worth of stock in one Norwegian financial services, DNB ASA, two state pension funds, the Employees Retirement System of Texas and Texas Permanent School Fund, own $68 million and $4 million respectively in the stock of the company. This is the first action taken under the anti-boycott legislation. In 2019, a U.S. district judge ruled in favor of Bahai Amawi, a former speech pathologist who sued the state over the law after she was fired from her job for supporting BDS. The court found the statute to a viewpoint-based restriction intended not to combat discrimination on the basis of national origin, but the silent speech with which Texas disagrees.
I can get the full.
In response, the legislature rewrote the language, limiting the application of the law to companies with more than 10 full-time employees and contracts of more than 100,000 with the state.
What should I sell? Right, I gotta sell a few because I gotta keep making chickens. Sell saw. Oh, I forgot to talk to Tuho.
Caitlyn Jenner is touring homeless encampments in Venice. Yeah, it's fucking gross, dude.
That's the maximum.
Aren't there any teachers in here that have to sign BDS legislation or anti-BDS statements to fucking become a teacher in like Texas and shit?
I saw Eve. Cause I bought Eve.
That person is a school contractor, by the way.
Now I have.
That's the reason why they were fired.
So I saw Eve.
Like the former speech pathologist was fired as a school contractor.
3-day.
For the record, like they were fired from the school. Teachers. This is it. Teacher sues Texas after being fired for refusing to sign pro-Israel contract. I love that the fucking chat was like, oh, I don't understand. Where are the teachers? Like, that's literally a case of a teacher being fired from school for not signing the fucking the anti-BDS like contract that they make fucking teachers sign in Texas. I had to sign an anti-boycott paper to work in a college job asking for donations. I'm a Palestinian, SLP and AZ, and I've encountered such stipulations in state school contracts. Yeah. How do you like that, dude? The bill's language is so sweeping that some victims of Hurricane Harvey, which devastated Southwest Texas in late 2017, were told that they could only receive state disaster relief if they first signed a pledge never to boycott Israel, dude.
Beard or no, I'm always here for the hot guy hot takes.
I work for the state as a librarian, have to. How about that? Free speech in NA. Omega lol. Democrats are responsible for this too. Except for Dianne Feinstein, surprisingly, who is like very expressly against this.
$1.5 sub babies. Pogo.
Anyway, let's watch Dan Crenshaw get heckled at an event because he said the 2020 election wasn't stolen. Good luck trying to win when you fucking go against like 80% of your constituents, dude.
There's certain serious problems, but don't kid yourself into believing that's why we lost. It's not. It's not.
You're wrong.
I'll tell you openly.
You're wrong.
I'll tell you, and I'm not wrong.
Yes, you are. I have plenty of proof. I have proof in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia.
What you did the Maricopa.
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
And guess what? It's going to turn out, and it's going to flip.
Okay.
I hate that he also shaved. We shaved together. We got matchy shaves, dude.
You watch. You're gonna see firsthand.
It won't. And you've got to flip all 5 states to make it.
You know how they're stealing the elections?
All right. I'm not going to argue with this. I'm not going to argue with this. It's just something. Look, I'll say it openly. This is something you got to accept. Is there a lot of voter fraud?
He is right.
There probably is. Enough that Trump won? No, absolutely not.
You'll see.
Absolutely not. 5 different states.
Yes.
Hundreds of thousands of votes.
Yes.
You're kidding yourself.
I can't tell people.
Yes, we got in the shower together and shaved each other, okay? Right-wing media was melting down over the Benito Skinner pro-vaccine White House video. Like, this video is fucking lame, okay? It's really lame, and it completely misses the mark on, like, getting anybody to fucking get vaccinated. But ultimately, who gives a fuck? Like, why are you spending so much time on it? Just, like, laugh it off and move on and be like, yeah, liberals are being fucking weird again. Like, that's what I did. I saw the video. I was like, this is Like, this would be funny in every other context. Okay? Like, I'm sure that person has, like, hilarious videos, right? But, like, in this context, if, like, the actual hilarity comes from the fact that the White House unironically thought that this would urge people to go get vaccinated. Like, of course, that's a fucking terrible way to try to do it. I thought the vid was a parody, too, originally. But then I saw Jen Psaki in it, and I was like, oh, no, it's not. It's not a fucking parody. It's very real. So yeah, this is, of course, I mean, he's the person on it is like gay, I suspect, right? I don't know what their like sexual orientation is, but they're queer. Like, it's a catch-all term. I'm using that as a catch-all term here. Like, they're very clearly not like heteronormative. They are also wearing you know, non-traditional dresses and shit like that. They look fabulous. I will say that. They look very good. Okay? And I can't tell if they're like making fun of other influencers that were participating in this event, or did they themselves are, you know, they thought that this would be good to urge people to get vaccinated and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. It's like you laugh it off and you move on. Okay?
And TikTok star who goes by the name Benny Drama uploaded this video on social media of himself parading around what appears to be the White House, portraying a Gen Z intern. Watch this.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did it, Joe. Hey,
probably baiting media to be homophobic. Yeah, I mean, most likely. I mean, they certainly were homophobic. I'll tell you that. The media was effectively baited, okay? They were baited, all right.
Everyone, vote.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No.
I gotta pee. I'll be back.
We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
So this video comes after another young social media influencer by the name of Olivia Rodrigo visited the White House. You can see her standing there. The White House encouraging more vaccinations in young adults, and Press Secretary Jen Psaki's cameo in this TikTok seems to do the same, the one that we just showed you. So let's bring in our panel for their thoughts on all of this. Amy, I'll start with you. There are reports that the White House, the Biden administration, is paying some of these TikTok influencers upwards of $5,000 in an effort to get the word out to vaccinate young people. What do you think about this?
Well, a few different opinions on this. So hear me out. I do have teenagers, and they would probably recognize this individual because they are on social media. And if you go back in the days of when I was growing up during the MTV VH1 era, they did have PSAs that were somewhat similar with celebrities and rock stars, you know, whether it dealt with AIDS awareness or mental health or reminding you to register to vote. That was pretty common. So this isn't new. However, some people are upset that taxpayers are possibly funding and most likely.
She convinced me. Yep. I'm a homophobe now and an anti-vaxxer. Don't need to see more. I saw like 3 seconds of her commentary. I'm convinced.
5 months.
Sorry. It worked.
Likely funding videos like this. I find it more appalling that at the end of this video, this influencer states how he's basically proud of the work that both President Biden and Dr. Fauci, you know, what they've done and what they've been able to accomplish during this pandemic. However, I find it more appalling that our taxpayer dollars went to the funding of the gain of research at the Wuhan lab. That's where we should be more concerned.
No longer convinced
about our taxpayer dollars going. This TikTok situation
wrong.
is probably pennies in comparison to the actual start of COVID.
Yeah, I do question, though, if this money is coming from the money that was approved for COVID relief, Julio, and now we see that it's being paid to, you know, social media influencers.
Yeah, I know, especially as businesses are still struggling and so many went out of business.
Bro, why are... People are just hella wet on Newsmax. Like, they just have, like, wet people on Newsmax. Like, this guy... Yo, is this guy all right? Like, what's going on? I would have to check in with this dude. He just literally looks like... You had to look hard. Long and hard to find a dude that looks like this. It's honestly admirable. Like, what happened? This looks like someone randomized the character creation screen, dude. Like, where did you find this dude?
That are never coming back. You know, but I do kind of...
I mean, he literally looks like a... He looks like he's out of a fucking... what's it called? Like, I think you should leave sketch. You know what I mean? Like, ah, what's going on? I don't fucking understand. I got my shirt. I couldn't get the shirts from Dan Flashes, so I got this pocket square.
I have to piggyback on what Amy said there. Yeah, I remember back Choose or Lose and Rock the Boat and all those sort of things. They do like to use, the Democrats in particular are good at using things like this to, I guess, try to get their message out to the youth. But I mean, when you consider the fact that we're not closing the southern border and we're having COVID surges in Texas, you know, it's kind of like, what exactly are we trying to accomplish here? Like, yeah, we want to get young people vaccinated, but, you know, we have a porous border that's allowing people that are coming in sick, that's causing a large surge, a massive surge. One of the biggest states as far as, you know, gaining new COVID cases in the United States is the state of Texas.
I can't pay attention to anything this guy is saying. This is an unserious person. This article sucks. It's like, sorry. I can't. I can't do Newsmax, man. It's hard. These guys are fucking losers. Elma, Mexico's about to catch up to the U.S. in vaccinations. You racist fuck.
Who is this baby-faced mullet man Turkish McGiver?
Like, people are mad that, like, you know, undocumented immigrants are coming over the border and, like, you know, they're unvaccinated or whatever. Okay, if they're unvaccinated, then get them vaccinated. I'm pretty sure they'll take it. How about this, dude? They come over, and if they don't want to get vaccinated, then sorry, GG's. You know what I mean? You have to have a medical reason. But other than that, like, you know, you have to get vaccinated. I'm sure, like, some liberals will get mad at me for saying this. Be like, oh, conditional amnesty? That's fucking bullshit. It's like, nah. You come to America. That's perfectly fine. Okay? Get vaccinated first. We will vaccinate you, and then you're fine. If you don't want to be vaccinated, then sorry. Doors closed. First of all, most of those dudes and ladies would love that, okay? They would absolutely love that. Like, they want to get vaccinated. Fake outrage over immigrants and COVID. Dude, chat is adapting. Look at these guys. They're like, they're coming in here with new ways to send me links without actually subscribing. Dude, you have to subscribe going forward if you want to send me a link, or else I'm not going to click on it.
Migrant.
Okay.
As high.
Just kidding. I don't really give a shit.
Many infected with COVID, they're pouring across in record numbers. Joe's not doing a darn thing about it. The overall estimated mortality rate for corona is less than 1%. Okay, pretty low.
COVID cases among migrants in the Rio Grande Valley are up 900%. The risk to the average person does remain quite low. And the facts are actually pretty reassuring.
The massive flow of COVID positive foreign nationals illegally across our southern border. The survival rate post-infection with COVID is over 99%. The vast majority of Americans face no risk.
Your administration isn't even testing illegals for COVID. You're literally shipping them into the interior of the United States.
It doesn't make sense. Like, do they believe vaccines are good or are they bad? Do they believe COVID is bad? I mean, they're just straight up. I've talked about this already, and I'm glad that like the Daily Show made a compilation of it, because I have mentioned multiple times that they literally are just saying like it's bad when immigrants are unvaccinated. It's good when the hogs aren't not vaccinated, but it's bad when the immigrants are unvaccinated. It's like makes no sense.
All the talk about coronavirus being so much more deadly doesn't reflect reality.
Hundreds of thousands of unvaccinated migrants into the country. I'm not afraid of the coronavirus, and no one else should be that afraid either.
The administration is waving tens of thousands of migrants through the border without any care for COVID. I got the vaccine. In certain ways, I think it's like if I could give it back.
Interesting. If you search COVID prayers right now on Facebook posts, the sheer amount of posts is crazy. Calling all my prayer warriors. Me and my wife Lisa were diagnosed COVID positive last Tuesday. I mean, this is a little fucked up. I'm so glad I don't live in St. Louis City or country anymore. I can't believe that they're going back to mask mandates again. I have not worn a mask during all this, and I refuse to wear a face diaper now. Attention, do not knock on this door to talk about the vaccine. I feel conflicted about this. False. Oxygen is down to 88, headed to the ER now. Proud super straight. Today, no mask, no entry. Tomorrow, no vaccine, no job. Someday soon, no microchip, no rights. Praying warriors, my brother's back in the hospital. They're intubating him. Dude, honestly, like, this is a little too much. I don't want to look through, like, I don't know. I feel a little bit weird. Like, it's not like these are, like, public accounts. You know what I mean? These are, like, regular fucking hogs in the wild. You know what I mean? Like, I see these people more so as victims. When we get down to the nitty gritty, like I know I talk a big game, but like I would still wish these people got vaccinated. You know what I mean?
God, he's still talking about the fucking vax, bro. Get some new goddamn material for the love of fuck.
I mean, yeah, this chatter is right. It almost feels like reading someone's fucking suicide note. You know what I mean? It's like reading through future dead people's lives. Cud's using dog dewormer to treat COVID now. Yeah. You did say they could just die. I agree. But part of the reason why I do that is because it's agitprop. I want there to be... You happy as hell he didn't make it because it makes you look smart? No, I don't care about that, you fucking idiot. It's such a weird reason to sell. It's just pure projection. You are such a fucking idiot that a moment that you ever unironically arrive at the truth and you think you look smart as a consequence of that is like a moment of celebration, no matter how fucking awful the problems that it causes are. Part of the reason why I shit on anti-vaxxers and like make fun of them is because I want to get them to at least be motivated by the primal fear that they will let me laugh at them in the end. You know what I mean? They won't be able to do anything about.
Oh, Van sells pets. I gotta remember that.
and I'll laugh at them dying. So that maybe like they'll just go and get motivated to get vaccinated because they're like, I don't want to let this motherfucker laugh at me when I die. You see what I'm saying?
Bro, she don't care about flowers?
It's a bit much. And it's like his son is in the hospital with COVID. Like this guy's, I want to ask for my prayers for my son. He's in the hospital with COVID pneumonia is what they said this morning. Please say a prayer for him. Let him get it back to home to his pregnant wife and his 2 beautiful girls. Like this shit's sad, dude. It's sad as fuck. I mean, they're, you know what I mean? These people have fucking lives and shit. Welcome to the new normal, but is it really new? Show me your papers. History repeats itself. This is only the beginning.
They're doing the Lord's work educating the baby.
I don't know.
Just sexo.
My brother Daniel Howard Johnson lost his fight with COVID today. We really appreciate all the faith and prayers last week. Danny was our big brother of 9.
1.5 months Poggeroo.
Follow the science. This will make me immune, right? No, you can still get COVID. Will I have to keep wearing a mask? Yes. If this harms me, is the manufacturer liable? No. So why did I do this? No idea. I'm just following orders. Cases, hospitalizations, deaths, totalitarianism. What? Basketball AF Groiper account. Yeah, I don't know if that guy is a fucking lib, dude. It's fake. He got debunked. It's a 4chan troll account. Yeah, that makes sense. They surround themselves with this conspiracy echo chamber, then they're in their deathbed and people they decide to trust over doctors and their replies telling them to take zinc. What? It's a little lengthy. Take the time. I've been in the hospital for 2 days. I'm so grateful for the Cocke County Hospital staff. I'm feeling somewhat better. I'm still very sick, but I thank God I can breathe. I came in smothering with my oxygen in the low 80s. So now you want fucking doctors to save you, huh? Dumb fuck.
The fuck? What the fuck? He says, what the fuck? Man, I'm so hungry. I feel like I didn't eat anything.
Dude, Facebook is so fucking garbage. I don't want to look at this. It's like bumming me out. I don't care about this either. Oh, what the fuck is this? Fox News poll finds Democrats favor socialism over capitalism. What the fuck?
Brand new whistleblower report. American Express, you know that card in your pocket? Is teaching employees capitalism is racist as part of its critical race theory training. Is this a joke? An investigation reveals Amex's anti-racism initiative instructing white people to identify the privileges and advantages you have and don't speak over members of the Black and American community. Let's bring in Vivek Ramaswamy. He's the author of a brand new book, which is fantastic, called Woke Inc. It comes out next Tuesday. Vivek, are you stunned by this? Think about this. A credit card tries to entice you to shop. Now they want to make you feel bad about it.
Well, look, big business has figured out that they can actually make money by critiquing themselves, right? And at first it looks like masochism, but actually if you look more closely, it is a way that these guys deter regulatory scrutiny, because American Express in particular has been under federal investigation for the last year for rampantly duping small businesses across this country. The Wall Street Journal has reported pretty extensively.
I just want them to like accidentally arrive at like a good, solid, consistent anti-corporate stance. Like, can we do that? Can we get there? Nope, of course not. They're still going to defend like tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations. They're still going to fucking shit all over like welfare programs. They're still going to shit all over labor unions and stuff. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? But just for a brief moment, if they were like, yo, maybe these corporations aren't all that great.
offensively on it. And so they figure regulators tend to be liberal. Why not deter them by projecting our woke values and professing anti-racism instead? The financial services industry does this all the time. Goldman does it, JP Morgan does it, American Express does it. And I'm sorry to say, a lot of the time it actually ends up working, but it's particularly ironic for a credit card company that caters to ultra rich people to be ultimately criticizing the very capitalist structure that allows people.
He's right though. Big business pretends to be more leftist than they are all the time to sell product. Yeah, no shit. So does the Democratic Party, by the way.
To create wealth for themselves. It's actually funny, Brian. Their flagship product is a black card, but the black card isn't for black people. It's for people who spend millions of dollars per year. What better company to criticize capitalism as racist than American Express?
I would think you should be teaching capitalism and how to get that black card, be eligible for that black card would be the message you would think.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Khalil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Khalil Muhammad is the great grandson of Nation of Islam Elijah Muhammad, famously where Muhammad.
They're so bad at jokes, dude. Just stick to what you're good at, which is like coming up with psychotic conspiracies, okay? The moment that these motherfuckers try to make a joke, it's like, hit. It's called the black card, but it's not for black people. Oh,
This
wow,
makes
dude.
sense.
That was so
My
fucking
wife
good.
used to work at American Express and was taught to give more
That was,
credit
you
cards and
fucking
better
nailed
loans
that,
to white
dude.
peeps
You
over black
nailed that.
people. She quit right away.
Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, followed them. He argued in a speech to Amex that for Amex to reduce its standards for black customers and sacrifice profits for race-based reparations.
Yeah, well, look, I think that this is exactly the playbook of ultimately projecting these woke values. They don't mean it. They're not authentic about it at all. And I actually think what you're seeing at a lot of these companies, Brian, has crossed the line to become downright illegal.
I mean, they're right. These companies don't care. They only care about the profit motive. And a lot of these companies believe that they can make money this way. And that's it. Okay? So they believe that they can make money by fucking guilt-tripping liberals. If they believe that they could make money by, like, vilifying black people, they would continue doing so. Black people have more purchasing power now. And white liberals love feeling guilty and also, you know, wanting to feel like they're doing something good. The same mentality as like Tom's shoes, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm buying a pair of fucking dog shit shoes at a massive markup made by like fucking slave labor, okay? But also, some child in Africa is gonna get a shoe too. Like, bitch, that kid in Africa already has a shoe. He needs water. Like clean drinking water. That kid doesn't need a fucking shoe, you racist. Did you guys know that? That's like that's one of the funniest things about Tom's is that like it literally is it like it's just it relies on like an incredibly uneducated view of like how kids in Africa are, where it's like it's not about like they don't need shoes, bro. They need fucking clean water. And it was also just used as a marketing technique.
Yes, sir. Ish.
These two idiots calling black Israelites liberals? I don't know what you mean, brother. They're black. Black equals liberal, don't you know? That's why it's always funny whenever they're like, what about Louis Farrakhan, huh? Like, yeah, what about him, dude? What, you think he's a fucking liberal? Are you insane?
It's me, and she goes, hey, he's kind of...
Wait, what the fuck is this? Wait, what video is this?
Let's imagine you open up a dating app, and a woman sees...
What the fuck is... What? I guess I go on the internet sometimes and Blam, turn on my camera, then zoop zoop. I speak in my mind about politics and it's really fun. Tim, 33. The Fed's becoming a political tool of the Democratic Party and the woke far
He's
left.
a picture of two guys. She sees me and she goes, hey, he's kind of cute or whatever, I'll swipe on him. So then she hits up me, or I actually, in all reality, in dating apps, the guy hits up the lady. So I message like, hey, let's go out for a drink. Afterwards, we get a drink. It's like, what do you want to do? Well,
wait, is this a real video? No, right? Someone made this video after.
Nope. I own my own house. I got my own car. Actually, I got a van. I got a van. You want to go off into the wilderness and go hiking for a week?
Hold up. Rewind a little bit.
Where is this video? I have to watch this right now. This is a Tim Pool critique vid. It's from Timba's video about how Tim Pool's a piece of shit. I have to watch this video. Link it to me right now. Timba on toast. New vid on my YouTube channel is an analysis of the way center-left journalists like Tim Pool reports the news. We're watching this shit, dude. Oh, what is this? Tim Pool, chaotic news analyst? Center left, Omega Lol. I'm watching it. We're watching this fucking Tim Pool video.
You know what? I'm someone who gets a lot of news from YouTube. It's not because it's a particularly good place to get it. It's more because YouTube...
I don't even care if this dude thinks Tim Pool is center left. Because it'll still be fucking fun if it's a compilation of Tim Pool stuff.
Loads up really quick on my phone while I'm making my spaghetti. Oftentimes, I'm not even interested in the videos I click on. I just need the background noise so I don't get bored with the droning ambience of real life. But ultimately, I do end up listening to a lot of YouTube news commentary. Pretty much every day, if I'm being honest. At a glance, there's a similar vibe to what all the news commentary channels do. But reporting the news is probably the least important part of their appeal, if you know what I mean. When I think of why someone might be watching YouTube guys who do news instead of TV news, I'm thinking they're probably looking for a specific political angle, or a mix of comedy with their delivery of the news, or maybe they
We're there for the lumber.
He doesn't think he's center left. He's just playing on what Pool calls himself, then tears down that moniker. All right, let's
just want to hear about stories which are too dumb to be featured in proper news. But I'd say it's usually not accuracy of reporting that brings us here. It's rather that these...
Felix makes fun of me for saying that she's hot.
There it is.
Peterman.
What if he's the Dark Lord?
YouTube talking heads offer a different viewing experience that corporate news channels just can't compete with.
Who is she? She's a fascist. She's like a Canadian reactionary psycho. Lauren Chen is good looking until she talks. R.I.P. I've never heard her talk.
In the case, my curiosity was immediately sparked in 2017 when I first caught wind of a YouTube news guy who was a literal journalist, a person who staked his core appeal on just honestly reporting the news.
I am a professional journalist and I produce journalism. I do technology innovation in journalism and I produce social commentary. I believe in trying...
At least no matter what I do, okay?
Oh my gosh.
At least no matter what I do,
are you for real?
I don't feed you that garbage, okay? I tell you exactly what I do. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking himbo. I like to have fun. I do commentary. What I do is not journalism, okay? I do commentary. I have my own biases. I admit what those biases are. And I tell you that, like, I'm, in a lot of instances, literally, quite literally doing agitative propaganda to show you how the system is designed to make you subjugated, or how the system is designed to put you in a certain place, okay? Like, I think it's fucking so dumb to just be like, I'm a journalist, I'm doing objective journalism, because, like, you're doing that over a clip of you literally talking about, like, how millennial women are outspending their boyfriends. Like, oh, really? You're doing objective journalism by, like, reacting to articles that you fucking half read? While doing the Jimmy Dore defense? This is not a defense. This is just the reality. Like, there is no defense here. I have always accurately told you exactly what I do.
Trying to be as honest as possible because we're never going to solve the world's problems by trying to trick other people. right? It's just never gonna happen. I just try to be honest. You'll watch my videos, you'll see I frequently talk about very similar things, but I try to source everything to the best of my ability, and I try to generally be honest.
Tim Pool is a center-left liberal reporter who got his break live streaming the Occupy Wall Street movement in 2011.
Okay, he's not, but
11, then worked for Vice leading up to 2014, and eventually found his home on YouTube doing political commentary from 2015.
I don't know why. Is that a Catalan flag?
Onwards. In terms of work rate,
Like a Catalan independence flag?
he is a machine, uploading upwards of 3 videos to 3 different channels every day, one of which takes the form of a long-form podcast where he's shooting the shit for 2 to 4 hours. If I were to pinpoint just one unique selling point of Tim's content, it would probably be his razor-sharp commentary, which pushes back on the sensationalism, spin, and partisanship of the mainstream media.
I counter the narrative from mainstream media. Why? Because I'm a liberal who doesn't trust the mainstream media to always be honest. What ends up happening is I do digging on my own, and I produce content that I see as being more balanced and fair. Whether or not what I do can become something as big as like a mainstream outlet, I have no idea. But I would say right now we're on a path towards something better.
Tim is ostensibly pretty upfront. He doesn't claim to be an unbiased objective source, but rather prides himself on being a liberal with integrity, who will call things as he sees them and be honest with.
Chad, I think he's setting it up. This guy, Timba on Toast, I think he's like setting up the argument that Tim Pool makes for himself so that he could shoot it down. Some of you have probably seen this video. I have not, so I'm just, letting people know that that is the case.
With his viewers. The goal Tim ultimately strives for is giving his viewers a more nuanced and honest perspective of world events, which I think we can all agree is sorely needed in a time where polarizing narratives are tearing everyone apart. But regarding the extent to which Tim's commentary actually achieves that goal, that's something I've been meaning to look into for a while now. For the last few years, I've been noticing that although Tim is a center-left liberal journalist, his audience is full of people who are politically pretty far right. Some of them appear to be of the Facebook boomer variety, typing emotional posts in capital letters about how much they love Donald Trump. Others are grandstanding defenders of America against communism and China, and a bunch of them appear to be into the QAnon conspiracy theory, typing out the acronym for the movement's slogan, where we go one, we go all. And a lot of these people have quite extreme political views. In the wake of Trump's electoral defeat at the end of 2020, Tim Pool's comment sections were awash with viewers calling for violent revolution, bloodshed and bullets, all because some right-wing politician didn't get elected. So it seems fair to say that whilst Tim has attempted fair and balanced journalism, he's produced some pretty unbalanced results in the kinds of people he's appealing to. And in this video, I'd like to examine why that might be. We're going to have a look at Tim Pool's methods of analysis, his presentation of data, and ultimately we'll end up with an answer to the question, how has Tim Pool's journalism resulted in the consolidation of...
Didn't he work for Vice? Doesn't that track? I mean, dude, one of the fucking founders of Vice, Gavin, what's his face, McGinnis, is a literal fucking white supremacist and the leader of the founder of the Proud Boys. So yes, but Vice doesn't necessarily have the best track record. There's a lot of sweaty fucking Brooklyn hipsters that literally go, hey, you know what? I was fashionably liberal when it was liberal, and I did all the liberal things, and now I'm going to be fashionably conservative because, the alt-right was very successful at captivating a lot of people and making them think that, like, literally regurgitating things that your dumbass racist grandfather says was actually somehow subversive or disruptive. Okay? That's it. What did Noah B say?
Of an audience who are rife with political extremism.
Fuck you!
Oh shit. Okay. Tim Pool, chaotic news analyst, dude.
First up, I want to take a look at the typical anatomy of a Tim Pool video, the way he structures his analyses and forms his conclusions. One of the most distinctive...
Gavin is Canadian. They do export their fucking worst, dude. Like, we talk about the Mexican border, but, like, goddamn, dude. Like, how Donald Trump's like, they're not sending their best. Like, Canada, unironically, never sending its best. If you're coming in here from Canada, you're either the best person or literally the worst. Nothing in between. I've never met a mid-Canadian. They're either like dope as fuck, okay, Justin Bieber, Drake, like, you know, celebrated artists, great, or just literally bottom of the barrel fucking fascist political commentators like Steven Crowder and Gavin Newsom and fucking Ted Cruz, you know what I mean? It's like why can't you send us some normal people, man? Canada, what the fuck?
Features of Tim's commentary is that typically...
Which one is XQC asking for LSF? I love XQC. Obviously, XQC is going to be in the best category. Same with Iman and shit like that.
He doesn't just give his opinion on a news story and move on. He's usually building a...
Folks, I'm going to interrupt this broadcast for a brief moment to tell you that the Free Britney movement has worked. Breaking news, Jamie Spears has agreed to step down as Britney's conservator. Okay? There it is. Jamie Spears has agreed that it's time to step down as conservator of Britney's estate. He just said so in new legal docs, and he wants to work with the court on an orderly fashion. We'll get to this in a little bit. Did I say Gavin Newsom? I meant Gavin McGinnis. Hawk! And then he lowers the boom. Nevertheless, there are in fact no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as the conservator of the estate, and it is highly debatable whether a change of the conservator at this time would be in Mr. Spears' best interest. And then he lowers the boom. Nevertheless, even as Mr. Spears is unremitting target of unjustifiable attacks, he does not believe that a public battle with his daughter over his continuing service as a conservator would be in her best interest. Dude, he's pulling a Andrew Cuomo. I'm done. I'm done enslaving my daughter. Okay? I know that I subjected her to dehumanizing acts, made her work so that I and the legal team that I put together made millions of dollars, but I do not want her to suffer any further. Today is the day that I stop the conservatorship. You know, to just spare her from a long and complicated battle. I heard Jamie Spears gave up the conservatorship. He did. He gave up the conservatorship because he's a coward. Unlike me, I never give up on the top of the hour ad breaks, okay? I don't. Only cowards quit, okay? And I'm not a fucking quitter. Which is precisely why I will not quit, and I will tell you that it's top of the fucking hour, baby. And it's time for that sweet, sweet ad break. Coming in right now. I'm going to look into this conservatorship thing a little bit further. Like, I don't know what that means.
Thank you so much for everything.
I don't know what, like, is there going to be a different one now that Jamie Spears is stepping down, all that stuff? But hey, listen, we're going to continue with the Tim Pool video by Timba on Toast. But you can avoid the ads if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience. As many of you do. They say, Hassan, how can I have an ad-free broadcasting experience? All you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. You can also use an ad block or a VPN, but Twitch Prime is free. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Nobody asks that. People ask that all the time.
A more complex overview of a given event or scenario by tying multiple news stories together, which sort of layer one on top of the other as the video progresses, eventually culminating in a wider conclusion about politics and society. A good example of Tim's layered news analysis is this video he made in 2018, which was Tim's most highly viewed video around that time. It revolves around a story where a woman was attacked on the subway by a random stranger and subsequently became upset because two men in the same carriage refused to step in and help her. Tim wanted to dig deeper into this story and find out what sociological motivations might be driving the encounter.
I keep hearing stories about men who refuse to intervene to protect women and children, and so I started wondering, is this actually a recurring trend? Is this actually getting worse, where men are no longer going to step in to protect people? And if it is, what's actually causing it?
So Tim asks a question. What is actually causing men to refuse to help people in distress? To explore this, Tim brings up a series of news stories with similar surface level characteristics to the one we heard at the start of the video. One is about a guy who defended a woman from a violent drug dealer and was then prosecuted. Another is about a guy who rescued a woman from an overturned vehicle and got arrested for obstruction. A third story is about a man who was accused of being a kidnapper when he was just trying to help a lost child. And a final story is about a pensioner who was arrested for knifing a burglar. So we have a litany of stories here about men just trying to do something nice for their fellow citizens, but then end up facing horrible consequences as a result of their civic mindedness. At the end of his video, for nuance, Tim brings up a counterexample about a story of one good Samaritan who was actually rewarded for his actions, and then Tim reaches his closing statement.
So there are stories of positive results when someone intervenes to help someone else, but I don't find it unreasonable that people are refusing to step up to defend others. There are just too many stories about people being punished for trying to do something good. In this instance, the two men walking away probably did the safest thing for them. By not defending this woman, they probably saved themselves a huge hassle and potential criminal charges.
So Tim has exposed that there's a logical reason why men aren't helping women and children. It's because there are too many negative news stories about nice guys being shamed and prosecuted. Seems logical. Tim has shown us a prevalent trend which we might otherwise have missed.
So I started looking into other stories, and it turns out there might be a trend, or at least the perception of a trend.
Listen, dude. Tim Pool be like, data is the plural of anecdote. He's just like, dude, this is... Anytime you see someone literally pulling like singular anecdotes and then never tie it back to like larger systemic problems that have been absolutely identified with studies and whatnot, you just gotta know, like, they're making a fucking advocacy for a certain point, okay? I do it too, don't get me wrong. Like, I look at fucking anecdotes all the time. I look at like psycho conservatives, Karens, all manner of different things. But then I will usually, oftentimes, tie it back to a systemic problem like misinformation and how like anti-vaxxer conspiracies spread or some shit like that, and what the damaging consequences of such things are. Tim Pool just does that for old boomer shit. Like, this is his, this is the vibe.
What are the chances? What are the fucking chances?
But he just does that, and then he also makes it seem like he's actually conducting research.
Of those who seek to help others being punished for doing so.
Let's take a closer look at this trend. The first thing you might notice when you look into the background of the articles Tim's presenting is that they're extremely far dispersed, both in geography and chronology. One of the stories Tim presented is from Coventry, UK, and happened in March 2014. Another came from Australia and happened in October of the same year. Another happened 3 whole years later in Florida, USA. And a final few occurred in 2018 in Georgia and London. If these news stories were a trend, we'd expect to see them coming thick and fast around a similar time. But they're actually incredibly sporadic. Tim's argument also hinges on these stories adding to a global narrative, but some of them, like the Georgia one, weren't even reported in the mainstream press. Compare this to the many stories you can find in 2018 alone, that's the year Tim recorded his video, where men were saving people's lives and were celebrated as heroes. There's loads of them, all occurring in the time frame when Tim was making his video. The problem with Tim's argument is that it revolves around the notion that this incredibly dispersed, sporadic handful of data points from America...
It's dumb as fuck. The counter to that is also like, still anecdotes. I don't even fully understand what point he's trying to make, right? I guess it's always like pussification of America or something, like, or the world, like whatever the fuck it is. It's just like, it's just loosely tied together with like shoestring to make this like, to make the same exact fucking point that like every other grandfather before Tim has made. And that's precisely why his audience is like predominantly older dudes that are reactionary, that like found themselves watching, you know, Epoch Times and shit on YouTube, and then they stumble across
Epoch Times. The fuck is Epoch Times?
In Australia is having a significant impact on the behavior of 2 London guys in the subway in 2018. it's illogical. Have you heard of Occam's razor? The most likely explanation is usually the one which is most simple. Here's something which we know to be objectively, uncontroversially true. Violent confrontations are scary for the vast majority of people. Most people prefer to keep their heads down and stay out of altercations because it's easier to walk away. Apathy and fear serve as sufficient enough explanations for these behavioral patterns. You don't need a complex theory about media trends and the effect they're having on the male ego because you're observing behavior which is completely ordinary. So, whilst at a glance Tim's video might seem like a robust journalistic analysis of a situation, when you dig deeper, it's actually a case of extremely misguided wishful thinking, based on a handful of data points that seem more prevalent than they actually are, only by virtue of the fact that Tim spends so long talking about them. Tim's commentary in this video actually has the effect of pushing the—
I can't believe we're 9 minutes into a Tim Pool video, and he has not once,
Love you, Hussein.
not
You're a
once
wonderful inspiration. Keep up the
mentioned
amazing work.
how bald he is and how him consistently wearing a beanie, even when it's like 100 degrees weather, implies indecency. All I'm gonna say. Okay? Now I wear a hat too, but at least I should have the decency to show you my fucking hairline from time to time. You understand? The reason why I wear a hat is because I have my hair is too long and it doesn't look good right now. It's in the fucking middle phase of growth.
The Daily Beast article
About to
on
not
his
have
wall.
an axe for a minute.
Adult Kalu, top of his head like a Lego guy.
the viewer away from the common sense explanation they could come to in their own minds that humans are generally scared of conflict towards an irrational explanation that human behavior is being entirely predetermined by obscure media stories that they most likely haven't read from world territories that they most likely don't live in. Let's look at Tim building an argument in a different context, this time in the realm of American politics. In this video Tim did in 2018, he investigates whether the Democratic Party are purposefully destroying the economy
what?
in order to spite Donald Trump. Here's what Tim offers up to his viewers for consideration. 1. Conservative commentator Ben Shapiro said that Democrats would damage the economy and blame it on Donald Trump.
It was Ben Shapiro on Fox News. He said that if Democrats take control of the House, they will try their best to damage the economy.
I love being a centrist in like exclusively using right-wing rhetoric, exclusively using right-wing points of view, which I fucking platform without any sort of like criticism or skepticism. And then using the main sources of, you know, famous reactionaries like Ben Shapiro. I love being a centrist liberal and doing such things. I just happen to always agree with the right wing, always consistently overemphasize how damaging the extreme left is. You know, love doing a center-left attitude like that. I mean, technically, I guess he is a Democrat. Because that is kind of what fucking Democrats do. Even though he is shitting on Nancy Pelosi here. Nancy Pelosi, ironically, is like the queen of doing exactly what fucking Tim Pool does on a regular basis. Regularly adopting the Republican attitude, whether it be fucking abolishing student loan debt, you know, or passing PAYGO, for example. Constantly talking about the fucking debt when it comes to, of course, not military spending, don't be crazy, but constantly talking about that when it comes to social safety nets. And then routinely shitting on the extremists within the party. So, you know, Tim Pool and Nancy Pelosi, not very different from one another. So, I guess maybe Tim Pool is a Democrat.
On me, so they can blame it on Trump.
2. Popular talk show host Bill Maher said the phrase, "bring on the recession" during his TV show.
Bill Maher even said, "bring on the recession." And this gets
I'm of course kidding. And the reason for why I'm kidding is because, like, there is at least something that the Democrats don't do, which is, like, they don't really take the bait and like regularly try to drum up, you know, anti-black or anti-marginalized community style propaganda. Like they don't engage in racial agitprop, right? Tim Pool, of course, does that as well, which makes him a Republican. Because the difference between Tim Pool or the difference between Democrats and Republicans is literally that. Like, where do they stand on racial issues and social issues? Tim Pool claims that he's like, you know, left wing when it comes to social progress, but ultimately he keeps, for some weird reason, you know, getting on the other side of the political argument. Just always remember that the main difference between liberals and conservatives in the United States of America is where they land on social issues for the most part, because in a lot of instances,
anything.
they certainly agree on, you know, austerity measures, not really giving the working class too much so they can continue to work in these like shit fucking dead end jobs that don't that they're forced to work at those shitty jobs.
I thought people were gonna be here.
You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Who said that? This is proof that Jim Crow Joe is more racist than the Republican Party. You're right. When Jim Crow Joe was pushing the crime bill, and by the way, I think Joe Biden definitely is
Jim Crow Joe
monster.
I was like, who the fuck
and,
is that?
did
Oh.
horrible racist things that absolutely hurt the black and brown communities in this country. But so if you think that like Joe Biden, if you think that I'm going to defend Joe Biden, you're delusional. But having said that, you know what the Republicans were doing back then? They were literally just like straight up running Willie Horton ads and saying that, you know, black people are inherently violent and shit. So
you could even call it a
pretty sure that
Harvest Moon.
You know, Joe Biden and the centrist constantly, endlessly fucking conceding Democrats were technically conceding to the reactionary forces at the time when they decided to criminalize being black.
Makes me worried that the Democrats actually do want to cause economic damage so they can blame Trump and then try and win in 2020.
3. Democratic House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said Democrats are going to implement whatever economic policies they want, and American voters will have to deal with the collateral damage.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said American voters will simply have to deal with the collateral damage that comes their way if Democrats craft economic policies in the years ahead.
Then we get to our conclusion.
Whether or not either side is telling the truth or not, one side is doomsaying and one side is cheering. I can only imagine this is bad for Democrats, whether it's true or not.
So maybe it's true that Democrats are willfully tanking the economy, maybe it's not. But whatever the truth is, says Tim, Democrats are making themselves look bad. Let's go back over the evidence. We've got Ben Shapiro speaking on Fox News and Bill Maher making comments during a late night talk show. What utility do these events serve for drawing robust conclusions about economic policy? Well, very little, because these people are what economists would refer to as TV entertainers. They don't write policy, they're not part of the government, and they are actually inclined towards saying exaggerated hyperbolic stuff as part of their jobs. I mean, Bill Maher's comment was literally greeted by laughter from a live studio audience.
One way you get rid of Trump.
Okay, I wouldn't go so far as to say he's entertaining, okay? The name of his profession might be entertainer, but I wouldn't say Bill Maher is entertaining.
Is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession. Sorry if that hurts people, but
this quote by Bill Maher is brought up not just once, but multiple times as Tim develops his monologue.
Bill Maher even
Major
said,
Melon
bring on the
Mountain Dew
recession.
Zero Sugar,
when
baby.
we look at statements from, say, Bill Maher, where he wishes for a recession. Look, I actually like Bill Maher, I do. But he said, bring on the recession. Bill Maher, on his show, wished for a recession for no reason other than to depose Donald Trump. Look, Bill Maher said, bring on the recession. He's now saying, yeah, but look, Trump is a bad person.
Dude, this is the exact same shit that conservatives claim liberals do all the goddamn time, and some liberals do that actually, where you know, they like hyper focus on like one thing out of context or something. In most instances, though, Republicans are literally doing like racist shit or saying racist stuff, but they love Republicans and reactionaries in general. Conservatives love taking like any random fucking statement and just blowing it fucking up as much as they can, like over and over again, repeating it over and over again, and then mercilessly fucking wagging their finger like, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you made this joke. First of all, yes, Bill Maher is dog shit. That statement is dog shit. He's trying to make a joke, and that joke unironically absolutely fucking implies or rather shows his privilege. That's it. No offense to Sam, but you do shit like this all the time. Totally, dude. It's fucking annoying. Like, you're literally just wagging your fucking finger at a person who is an out-of-touch liberal to try to make like a larger point when you literally are on the fucking reactionary side of the argument. These people don't care. They do not care. Most of these people that are supposedly on your side do not give a fuck about the working class. They're just adopting the aesthetics of the working class exclusively so they can like make these arguments and wag the fucking finger at the Democratic Party. And anyone who keeps jumping on that bandwagon is so fucking frustrated.
Person, we can survive a recession. He's still calling for a recession. And you have the left going, bring on the recession.
We hear
Yeah,
this.
the left.
The left.
The prominent leftist Bill Maher, dude. Why did you say you like Bill Maher in the beginning? I like Bill Maher, but he said this. Yeah, you like Bill Maher because he's not a fucking leftist. He's just as much an out-of-touch, delusional fucking centrist, which is unironically oftentimes center-right, neoliberal like you are. That's it.
Same polemic being repeated by Tim over and over again. Bill Maher said bring on the recession. He hates...
I just watched this laugh at all you libtard idiots. Says Mike Hawk itch too much. You should get that checked out, Mike.
Trump. He's calling for a recession because he doesn't like Trump. He said bring on...
Why do you call yourself center when you're so obviously left? The only center I'm hitting is the center of your mother's pussy, motherfucker. When the fuck have I ever said I'm a centrist in any way, you dumb fuck?
Oh, yeah,
What do you mean?
stuff.
I've literally never said that I'm a
So it's-
centrist.
Okay.
I'm a democratic
how am I gonna
socialist, you
go to
fucking
Karen's
moron.
thing? I got her the present. Whatever.
Just because I hate the Democratic Party does not mean that I'm like, you know, in the center. I hate the Democratic Party for literally being in the center rather than being on the left.
On the recession, did you hear him say that, everyone? The statement loses all informational value after the...
I'm centered to where the bitches are at. True.
first time we hear it, but through repetition, it gains a kind of rhetorical value. Interestingly enough, this is a rhetorical tool which we would most frequently associate with politicians trying to land talking points in people's minds when they're giving speeches. And it's interesting to see Tim employing the same devices in his reporting, because they are, in many ways, at odds with his aim of straight-talking, fact-based journalism. But Tim Pool's rhetoric is such an interesting can of worms that it's going to have to be a topic for another video. The final piece of information Tim reports to his audience is a quote from Nancy Pelosi, who says that the Democrats are not afraid to push economic policies based on climate change, which will cause collateral damage to American voters and the economy.
For me, I'm like, yeah, I get it, right? If Nancy Pelosi wants to enact environmental regulations and it's going to cause damage to the economy, I understand why that is bad. I understand why people are not going to vote for Democrats because of that.
Tim is getting his information from this article, which appeared in the Washington Times.
Oh, dude, unbiased. I love getting my sources from unbiased places like the Washington fucking Times, dude. Guys, I'm reading this new newspaper.
Damn,
okay?
I can't invite.
It's called The Daily
Harris.
Stormer. I think, you know, they named it after like a storm or something. I don't know. Liberals keep saying it's a Nazi paper. I don't really get it. I mean, it's just like they like the weather. Okay, I'm just curious. Okay, and you know, they're saying that Nancy Pelosi is demonic and Jewish.
Wait,
You know?
I can't let him. I can't have him come with me.
That's just a thing that they're saying in my unbiased paper called The Daily Stormer.
A religious conservative newspaper. The publication frames Pelosi's quote as if she's directly advocating for climate change policies which go against the interests of American voters.
You shouldn't exclude them from the marketplace of ideas? Suck my dick, dude. Me offering additional context to the Washington Times and how much of a fucking reactionary rag it is not excluding them from the marketplace of ideas. You dumb moron. You dumb baboon-brained moron, dude. Fuck.
If you look at Pelosi's quote in full context, that reading seems incomplete.
Remember that what we said was we wanted to pass an overwhelming number of jobs in order to protect
I get as much for omelet rice as I
all
do
of
this.
our society. I mean, this is about prosperity. So anyway, I think that we owe the American people to be there for them. for their financial security, respecting the dignity and worth of every person in our country. And if there's some collateral damage for some others who do not share our view, well, so be it, but it shouldn't be our original purpose.
In this quote, Pelosi is specifically talking about creating jobs and boosting the American economy. So the assertion that she's expressing a desire to sacrifice those things at the altar of climate change seems odd. We can zoom out further to the bit that comes before this, where Pelosi sets up a dichotomy between special interest groups and ordinary American people, and it quickly becomes apparent that the collateral damage Pelosi is referring to is the special interest groups.
And so we think with public opinion that the idea that people's voices are just as strong as anyone else's, and that special interests do not override the public interest. We owe the American people to be there for them. And if there's some collateral damage for some others who do not share our view, well, so be it.
Much of this quote's meaning is lost in Tim Pool's video because Tim uniquely processes it through the selective framing he's been given by the Washington Times.
Why should I vote for a Democrat?
Wait, so when she was talking about collateral damage, she was referencing special interest groups and like the wealthy? I didn't even know this, like, dude, this is part of the fucking echo chamber argument, right? Where it's like, I didn't even know that Nancy Pelosi had said this. I don't even like Nancy Pelosi, but it of course makes sense that she would say something like this. That's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. They offer lip service to the working class, even if they don't have the energy or the interest to like follow through on that lip service. They offer lip service to marginalized identities instead of using racial agitative propaganda as their main motivator, as their main guiding principle. Okay? So, of course, this is just a reactionary rag that is doing that same kind of propaganda. Move the goalpost harder. My favorite kind of chatter is the one that says you're moving the goalpost because they just do not understand nuance. They do not understand context. They do not know what my position is on any of these issues whatsoever. You are too stupid. If you're too stupid to contextualize what I'm saying, then I would just keep my mouth shut. It is literally $0 to keep it shut.
10 months, hooray.
You could have seen this coming from space. Ape Grug, what is Brian on about? Your guilt for participating in capitalism is built into the price. Sexist. Oh, never mind. Move the goalposts harder. You're all over the place.
Things are about to get worse. They're doomsaying. I mean, I guess that's all they have.
Tim's analysis gets more and more strange as the video progresses. At a certain point, he admits to not knowing the full context of Nancy Pelosi's quote, but then brushes it off as if it's an insignificant thing for a journalist like himself to be concerned with, and goes into this vivid analysis of all the bad things Democrats might hypothetically do if the quote is as bad as he's imagining it to be.
Look, I don't know exactly what the context was, but if the idea is that, look, we gotta help the economy, we have to help the environment, oh, it's gonna hurt the economy. Yeah.
This is my favorite fucking take, dude. Yo, people do this on the left too, and I get so mad. And it's like, it's always like, listen, I may have misunderstood the context, which is incredibly fucking important in every situation. I personally misunderstood what you were saying, so now I'm just gonna get mad at that shit that I just made up. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yes, I too like to get mad at a hypothetical situation that did not occur, that I imagine you would behave.
Wait a minute.
Like in that situation, the hypothetical situation, I literally made up in my mind.
Yeah,
but
then they'll go and blame the Republicans for the bad economy. They'll blame, and not just in multiple ways. Not only will they say, oh, it's.
By the way, that's like a chatter move. Like that's the #1 chatter move.
Republican policy is hurting the economy. They're probably going to say, oh, it's the destruction of the environment that's also hurting the economy.
Tim piles up a series of assertions, each one laying out something devious the Democrats might hypothetically be planning to do in the future, based on, by his own admission, nothing. Because he doesn't know anything about the context of Nancy Pelosi's quote, he doesn't want to go and listen to it in full, he just wants to think his way around these various imaginings he has in his head. Thinking about this as a video maker, I'd say there's an obvious reason why Tim would do this. Throughout the entirety of this monologue, he never actually manages to land on any substantive evidence for the video's central claim, that Democrats are purposefully tanking the economy to spite Donald Trump. If Tim were to look up the full context of Pelosi's quote, but then find it counterproductive to his argument, all he would be left with is showbiz gossip about Bill Maher and Ben Shapiro. Therefore, in order to keep up the intrigue of his content, Tim has to substantiate his argument performatively, conjuring up vivid images of hypothetical evils, seemingly because he doesn't have anything solid to point to in the present.
I can only imagine this is bad for Democrats, whether it's true or not.
Question: what was the point of this video, this 10-minute monologue, if by the end we've still not worked out what is true? That is typically the work of a journalist, right? But here the audience is steered towards a value judgment that things look bad for the Democrats, whilst never actually being presented with the actual—
Guys, stop sending the same like fucking Tim Pool's hat is removed video that we've watched. I love the Ammon animations or whatever, the dude who made that, but please for the love of Christ, like, I'm not gonna stop a 1 hour fucking video just to watch another 5-minute fucking sketch about Tim Pool's beanie being pulled off his head, and then you see like a literal fucking demon come out of it and stuff. Please, okay? Chatters, you are not spicing up the content. It's already an hour long and it's pretty fucking spicy.
Facts of the situation, the context behind any of the quotes, or any actual government
I think I've seen 100 people link it.
So
since I
what can we say
started
about Tim's methods of argumentation, which are essentially the driving force behind his reporting? Well, his layered analysis is often persuasive. He weaves an argumentative thread through various pieces of reporting and arrives at explanations which are ostensibly revelatory, insightful, and pragmatic. But when you break down the evidence he's actually using to substantiate his conclusions, what emerges is the picture of a reporter so infatuated with the notion of uncovering something groundbreaking that he abandons all sense of rationality in his analysis of the facts at hand. We see an over-reliance on disconnected anecdotes, the presentation of showbiz news as a barometer for governmental policy, the calculated repetition of talking points to make up for a lack of substantive information to share, and the performative aggrandizement of circumstantial quotes that Tim hasn't even bothered to do background research on. Tim's argumentative style is compelling, for sure, but incredibly flawed if the desired goal is accurate reporting. However, there's far more to Tim's approach than just a method of argumentation, and we're going to carry on unpacking this as we move into the next section. Something you'll be exposed to fairly often if you watch Tim Pool's channel is studies. Sometimes academic, sometimes survey focused, sometimes theoretical pieces. Tim will often dedicate entire videos to going over research, pulling out key stats, and informing his viewers what the wider implications are. As a viewer, you're given the impression that Tim is proof-checking his own ideas about the world against scientific data, which lends him a ton more credibility. In 2019, Tim made a video about an academic paper which claimed to show that Democrats were pretending to be upset about Trump as an act of virtue signaling. Let's take a look at how Tim reported the research.
Many Democrats claiming mental distress after Trump election were faking it.
How could you ever find this, like how could this even be a real study? I really don't understand how this could like ever be like an actual study. It's again one of those things where it's like it seems real, right? It kind of does. You know the type, like, oh man, I had to take off fucking work because like Donald Trump is president, whatever. But like it's functionally impossible to like measure this, okay? Fake bombshell. Trump admitted it a decade ago.
$10,000, and that's even
mother
if
of
I can,
teenage
like,
girl harassed
go
by
check
Planned
on
Parenthood. Like immediate red flags as a professional journalist. Listen, dude. Like, I don't think Tim Pool's a professional journalist. I think he's a grifter. I think he is not a centrist. I don't think he's center left. I think he's a right winger, and I think he does a lot of propaganda for the right wing party. And he has been able to position himself as a center left individual exclusively. Like that's his seasoning. That's his spice. That's what sets them apart from the rest of like the reactionaries, right? So, but like there are so many red flags. Right here in just this fucking screenshot alone. That should get you to think like, if this is a news source that you're using to make an argument, Like, just this fucking screenshot alone, you're like, this is not a journalist, because this is a person who is purposefully avoiding media literacy.
Clean-shaven dude on his end stream.
What do I always tell you guys? When I look at the New York Times, even when I look at Al Jazeera, when I look at any sort of resource, what do I always tell you? One of the main things that I try to educate people on here, at the very least, is like proper media literacy. That every single journalistic outlet, whether they're private or state-owned, has biases, okay? And you have to match whatever they're reporting with respect to those fucking biases. I tell you this all the time. This is a key component of media literacy, okay? Everybody has their own motivations. Capitalist Western nations have private media companies that still very much will participate in propagandizing the State Department's interests. And there are still plenty of instances where they unironically will try to uphold the capitalist hegemonic thought. They will try to normalize the horrible things that you are experiencing or witnessing. They will try to tell you that any other alternative system is actually bad and wrong. Okay? I will never go to, like, even when I go to Gray Zone, I tell you all the time about, like, you know, it's not the most trustworthy in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Why did you
Like, but you know, we'll analyze the facts as they are. Whereas, like, this guy is just on PJ Media, just like blasting a fucking insane website, and like people that are going in there see these other articles, and even then they're not like, this is kind of suspicious. Like, maybe this guy's not a centrist, but that's not his audience anyway. For the 3 fucking liberals that maybe come into his audience that think they're liberals, but they have like a lot of reactionary points of view that are willing to be red-pilled, there are 1,000 already existing Republicans that come in to be like, yeah, this liberal agrees with me, which must mean I'm right. Tim Pool is doing basically the same thing that the George W. Bush administration, never Trump Republicans, did for liberals. Okay? That's all he's doing. He's making conservatives feel like they're right by claiming that he's a liberal. Just like Candace Owens makes white supremacists like herself, despite the fact that she's a black woman, she is a white supremacist. Candace Owens' sole purpose on this planet now is to make racist people feel comfortable with their racism by regurgitating the same kind of racist ass shit that white people say, or racist white people say rather, in private. Okay? That's it. And that's precisely what Tim Pool is doing.
According to this study, because they're virtue signaling, they call it reverse cheerleading.
How did the study's authors come to this conclusion? Well, they took post-election survey data from Gallup, which asked the Democrats the question, did you experience worry during a lot of the day yesterday? A lot of the Democrats said yes, they did. The researchers interpreted this as Democrats reporting mental decline. They then collected data on how many Democrats were searching the following terms on Bing: anxiety, depression, drugs, stress, suicide, therapy. They found that there was no significant increase in Democrats searching these terms after the election, and thus concluded that Democrats were not actually experiencing poor mental health, and were just saying they were worried as a form of reverse cheerleading, to reflect badly on the president of the opposing party. Obviously, there's quite a big logical leap being made here by the study's authors, which is probably why their article ended up in an open access journal, which typically has lower barriers for entry than traditional academic publications. Regardless, my main interest here is how Tim reports on this study. The first thing to note is that Tim never actually reads the study. He instead chooses to rely on a news article about the study from PJ Media, essentially putting a middleman in between himself and the actual data. This becomes a problem if the middleman is not a reliable messenger. First of all, from reading the PJ Media article, Tim becomes convinced that Democrats are pretending to be seeking therapy.
Why would people pretend to be getting anxiety, stress, and be seeking therapy after Trump won the election? According to this study, because they're virtue signaling. They call it reverse cheerleading.
As we know, there's nothing in this study about Democrats pretending to be seeking therapy All that happened is they were asked a question, are you worried? And they said, yes. Tim is allowing PJ Media to shape his understanding of the research, and as a result, he's woefully ill-equipped to summarize what was actually being measured. Also, listen to Tim reading out this next passage.
In other words, a person who might describe suffering psychological distress on social media or to their friends, but doesn't search for any type of help or relief is more likely showing a form of reverse cheerleading.
The PJ Media article connects the study's findings to social media, claiming that the same principles observed in post-election surveys can equally be observed on social media platforms. Now, although up top here and down bottom here, PJ Media is directly quoting the study, this passage here concerning social media placed right in the middle is actually the PJ Media journalist's own creative addition, an assertion which is not substantiated by the study's findings. The study's authors never claim that their findings about what people search on Bing can be extended to draw conclusions about what people post on social media. This is what we'd call an overgeneralization, an assertion which exceeds what can be logically concluded from the available information. Unfortunately, as Tim Pool's understanding of the study is entirely shaped by a second-hand media article, he incorrectly informs his viewers that the study reveals a lot about celebrity behavior on social media.
I mean, they're celebrities. Think about how they got to where they are. These like Chelsea Handler, for instance. They just want to join in and make sure they get followers and fans and make money, when in fact it looks like we have some data to back up the claim. They're pretending to be upset about Trump.
Tim doesn't have any data to back up that claim. This study has nothing to do with the Twitter posts of Chelsea Handler or the behavior of people on social media or anything like that at all. It's about whether or not there's a correlation between political conviction and mental health decline as measured.
Dude, I know Britney is fucking free, dude. Why are you guys coming in here and like constantly spamming this? Like, where are you coming from? Are you in a different area? Like, where it just like comes in bursts? Or like someone in the chat will be like, Britney's free. Then everybody fucking starts like freaking out. You guys not want to watch the video? Are you fucking bored of this video? I already covered that Britney is free, okay? I said that I was gonna do it later. Like after I'm done with this.
I'd rather help out Cliff than get a pet, but I really want a pet.
And even then, she's not even fucking free yet. Like, I haven't seen all the details, but just because Jamie Spears stepped down from the conservatorship doesn't mean that like the conservatorship is gone or done. I don't think. So these are things I want to look into before I cover it. And you guys are like fucking losing your mind over this.
Buy a pet treat.
The conservatorship has not been fucking dissolved, if I'm not mistaken.
These guys yet.
Please stop, okay?
Just get the regular ass dog.
Oh.
Dang, that black Shiba though.
So tired.
Measured through the prevalence of search terms on Bing, herein lies a wider problem that you can observe in many Tim Pool videos. Tim very naively places his trust in journalists to break down the results of studies for him, rather than reading the studies himself.
I feel like I won't be able to get the black
making
Shiba
assertions which have nothing to do with the research. In the video, body positivity is making people fatter. Tim talks about the link between the body positivity movement and the obesity epidemic.
Study finds the body positive movement is probably contributing to the obesity.
Literally, fat shaming is like so many studies have shown that fat shaming unironically contributes to weight gain. Okay, mental distress, weight gain, overall horrible. Like there are a million fucking studies on. There are a million studies that basically disproves whatever the fuck this study is trying to say, whatever this study is. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, even though they're like they're not mutually exclusive, but still.
Crisis. You have models who are morbidly obese, and they're saying this is normal and it's beautiful. And so, as the body positivity thing kind of expands, yeah, more people are going to underestimate their weight. So, is it any surprise to anybody that the body positivity movement may be actually contributing to the obesity crisis?
Looking at the study Tim is referring to, it doesn't in any way investigate a link between the body positivity movement and obesity. The study instead finds that socioeconomic determinants such as how much money an individual makes and how well educated they are greatly increase their likelihood of being obese and underestimating their weight size. What's happened here is that Yahoo Lifestyle, a tabloid site for style, beauty and wellness, has deliberately positioned body positivity as the driving force of their write-up so that they stand a better chance of getting clicks from a lowbrow, casual readership. Notice the use of the hedging term probably in the headline, essentially an admission of there being no scientific...
Dude. Yeah, lowbrow readership like Tim Pool and his fucking audience.
Foundation behind the claim being made. The confusing thing is how a professional journalist would be duped by this.
So
the obesity crisis a fabricated moral panic and causes the poor health it claims to fight.
Mineral dog.
Dude, why do you consist? Moonworse is back, chat. No, that is not a fucking moral panic, dude. No, there is actually a fucking problem with obesity rates in this country. Please stop. Okay? Please fucking stop. That is so dumb, dude. Please, please. God damn it. I'm actually gonna ban you eventually because you are unironically spreading misinformation anytime we have a conversation about weight gain, weight loss, anything. You blurt out every single bad radlib fucking take you can about this issue. Also, I promise I'm not a radlib. No, you are. You are a radlib when it comes to fat shit, okay? Like issues that pertain to diets and gaining weight and losing weight. Straight up. Fat phobia radlib. Like, this betrays what you're saying. This poor health causes the poor health betrays what you are saying here, because the implication of the poor health is that yes, the obesity crisis as a fabricated moral panic is causing people to be obese. You can't use like obesity as a non-pejorative in the first sentence and then turn around and be like, but it's making people obese, and then imply that like it's bad. Okay?
Hope you all have a happy and healthy day.
Is it any surprise to anybody that the body positivity movement may be actually contributing to the obesity crisis? It's science.
It's science, totally, dude. No, the actual science would show you that, unironically, fat shaming people does not work if the stated goal of fat shaming is to make people lose weight, okay? Fat shaming does the opposite. It's science. What is science? LifestyleYahoo.com.
There's another video where Tim critiques a study analyzing Twitter posts following the release of Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi
That's so
Backlash.
funny.
Academic study reveals 50% of online hate caused by Russian trolls or non-humans. Holy oh my god, you... Oh. Apparently, we're not allowed to be mad at movies for being bad anymore.
Contrary to the headline Tim is reading, the study states it found only 33 accounts which were sock puppets, of which only 16 were Russian. So add that to the figure of the 11 bot accounts that were found, and that's 13% of the negative tweets analysed in total that were Russian trolls or non-humans, not the 50% alleged in the IndieWire headline. The articles arrived at that 50% stat by combining the data for Russian troll and bot tweets with the far larger number of tweets that were deemed by the study to be politically motivated. So the article has done a sleight of hand here, which essentially amounts to misinformation. However, as Tim hasn't read that study, he has no way of rationally decoding this, and instead he decries the whole thing.
Further fat shaming made me suicidal, not want to lose weight. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like fucking idiotic that people still... It's like doubly idiotic that he is making it seem like that is actually like a successful way to make people lose weight. It's just so stupid. It's not true.
By implying it's all a Hollywood conspiracy to deflect criticism.
I'm not wrong.
Yes, this guy got to debate the CEO of Twitter because of Joe Rogan, dude.
It's the fans who are wrong. Actually, it's not the fans who are wrong. They're all Russian trolls anyway. Because Star Wars is so important to the American economy that the only...
What is the leftist take on fat phobia and obesity epidemic? The real leftist take on fat phobia and obesity epidemic, which is a fucking problem, okay? Obesity is a health condition. It is a genuine, legitimate health problem. It creates some of the most significant health complications that end up killing the most Americans, okay? 1000%. Anyone who tells you otherwise is fucking delusional, okay? I'm sorry. That doesn't mean that like anyone who is overweight is unhealthy. But the problems are systemic, okay? We have unhealthy diets, partially caused as a consequence of our agricultural production and the powerful lobbies that dictate the kinds of food that is cheap and readily subsidized by the government that everyone has access to. We have food deserts where people do not have a healthy food option in a fucking 1 mile radius that they can't get to without like public transportation, or might not even have public transportation to be able to get to. We have serious issues with the way that American diets are constructed, okay? A lot of which goes back to companies making money and companies operating on the profit motive. Then on the other side, you have a hypersexualized media that wants to constantly fucking make money, that is showing you, you know, this is the physical body that you should be like, that you should look like, which probably puts people in a more deep, more depressive state that definitely does not help with their weight loss if they need to lose weight and pursue a healthy diet, and only pushes them further into a fucking deep, dark hole where they just end up unironically gaining weight. And it's a massive problem with zero fucking good and immediate solutions. So what do liberals do? Well, liberals do the exact same shit that they do for every issue. Homelessness is an issue. Again, caused by capitalism, caused by markets, caused by the privatization of people. Not the privatization, but like just making people trying to make money off of rent-seeking parasitic behavior and denying people shelter unless they pay for it. Okay? It is the commodification of housing that has created homelessness. Because people get priced out of the housing market, even if they have jobs in that neighborhood. What do liberals do as a solution? Just let homeless people build tent cities, and live in fucking filth and eat trash and just look the other way. That's the liberal solution to homelessness. Okay? The liberal capitalist solution to the obesity epidemic in this country is to just say, no, dude, like, it's actually all right. Like, it's fine that, you know, 60% of the country has comorbidities. Most of it caused by literally being obese. It's actually okay. Well, and that's not even what liberals say, to be honest. But, you know, some do. Like that one person in my chat who is constantly making the worst and dumbest fucking arguments against weight loss.